What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
That's right, family. We're back at it here. Bye week, bye. It's over. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Rest of the year, it's Cowboy football. Every single week, sometime, we're getting our game. And hey, we got to finish. We got to continue, building, and hopefully, let's just finish the season strong. Finish the postseason strong, like the Texas Rangers did so far. They're almost to the end. We'll talk about that really quickly here as we kick things off on a new week. And we're getting ready to pack it up and go to Big D in Dallas, have a talk with the Cowboy players and coaches, and watch the Cowboys kick some Ram ass. Ram the Rams is the hope this weekend. Myself, the wife, and the kids, first time ever for them, will be at this game here live in full effect on Sunday, 12 noon, Dallas time. So we're going to talk about a lot of things here, a lot of football stuff, some NFL news. It's relevant to the Cowboys. You include the Niners, right?
It is, especially when it's during the bye week, especially, right?
We had like a 90% win this bye week out of 100, right? If the Eagles would have lost yesterday, it would have been a big win. We didn't do anything. Hey, we'll talk about it all. We'll dive a little deeper. We'll get some thoughts and comments from you guys. But first, let's shout out those that make the world go round here at MCF, My Cowboys Family. You know who these people are, guys. Snug X, the Takeover. Much love to him. He snapped the big Mark Hosepian 3-week streak. He snapped it in two, and now he's got the number one spot. Sponsor of the week, much love to Snug X, but that's part of the bigger picture because Snug X, he was at 10 in a row last week as the Cash App King. He's at 11 in a row after taking it last week, and man, he is going for the Roger Staubach, numbers here. If he gets to 12, he's at 11 right now. If he gets another week, that's 3 months of domination. Again, the only person that came this close, Jason Renfro. About a year ago or so, he had 20 in a row. He had 5 months. Snug is almost 2 months, a little over 2 months away from get that all-time record here in My Cowboys Family. You know why Snug's here. He's here for the Takeover. Sponsor of the week, Cash App King. Much love to him. And the other half of the board in representation is Mr. Jason Renfro. 75 points on the stream boss. Still hanging on there strong. Much love to Jason Renfro. His Texas Rangers won tonight in that Game 7 battle against the Houston Astros. And if you look at the gifting litters right above there, right now, actually, I got to update that because Skeptical Fan with that pre-stream or beginning of the stream, gifting membership. I don't know who was the big winner there. It was Freedom First getting that membership. Much love to him back in the Navy Blue crew. But you can see who the gifting champion is this week. It's Jason Renfro. He did with only 4. He got 2 safeties. That's all he needed last week. But he gifted 4 memberships. Much love to him. He's the big winner, repping that cash, that gifting championship crown. So again, that's the way it's laid down right now. Again, nobody currently is leading in on the Cash App board right now. So Snug X, much love, but no one's leading it right now. The overall board is right now controlled by Skeptical Fan. The man always staying skeptical with his gifting membership, and of course he's first place on the gifting board as well. So I'll update the board, baby. It's you got the super chats, you got the thanks button, you can jump in the membership like Cowboy 808 did. 808 Cowboy did last week, end of last week. And you can also gift memberships like you just saw Skeptical Fan doing that in the chat. But baby, there's 4 other ways that are under the Cash App King side of things. What are the ways they can drop a little love that way?
Of course, you have the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family. You have the regular PayPal link, and of course, last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Yeah, much love and appreciation to everybody on that side of things. Also, baby, we have our monthly star level, over everything level membership raffle. Sewn and stitched jerseys, guys. You're in the membership there. You're good to go. But we also always shout out the over everything and star level memberships every damn night here on My Cowboys Family when we go live. So, baby, without further ado, who are these fantastic top shelf members?
Of course, we have Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical. Jason Renfro, much love. Dwayne Ressard, the top dog. Lincoln Kane from Down Under. Mary Alvarez, repping it West Coast style. Andy Potch, much love. Marissa Sparkle.
Yeah,
and the man, the Lunatic.
Oh, yeah. And, hey, we got to talk about the Lunatic here in a minute because there's a big reason why the Lunatic here is on the highlighted portion of things here on MCF. By the way, Marissa Sparkle also representing Big D, Dallas Cowboys. Much love to her. And the Lunatic. Well, baby, without further ado, let's get into this because you guys see at the bottom right of the screen the Lunatic's double jersey raffle. It is back again. A little different this time, a little tweaked. We'll explain in a minute, but baby, fantastic raffle. Sewn and stitched. You know how this usually goes, but now this is for, we're going to have this huge raffle going on. 2 of these sewn and stitched jerseys, your choice, different players, old and new legends, Hall of Famers, or, new players.
You've seen us rep all sorts of different players, different styles, different sizes. I mean,
you know how we do here,
the
guys.
whole family.
Great stuff from Cowboys Mosh. Check it out if you haven't. You want to get your own jersey, but you can also pick any team, any sport, and whatever's available through there.
Right.
But
you feel like repping the Rangers?
How do we get into this thing, though, baby? How can anybody win one? Again, there's going to be 2 winners. Each one's going to win one of these jerseys, and you get to choose which one you kind of want. Style,
Jason Renfro is showing everybody live and in action how you do that. Because, guys, you drop $10 or more, bam, you're automatically entered. And guess what? Each one of those entries, they stack. So every 10, that's another entry.
Yeah, it's stackable.
And membership has its
unlimited
perks.
entries, right?
MCF members will get bonus entries, of course. When all is said and done, and we tally up all the marks. So,
It's navy blue, silver, star, or over everything level. You get in there. So did Jalen get in there. Isn't that our old guy here, Jalen?
Nodak, yeah.
Nodak
so
Ninja
shout
in
out
the
to
house.
Skeptical Fan
Who gave that
for
up?
gifting.
Ooh.
Jalen, appreciate you. That awesome membership. Thank you so much, Skeptical.
We've actually been lacking a little bit on the membership side of things, which, you guys been banging it out of the ballpark here. But I think with those 2, we can add another emoji. So you may see another emoji pop up here, in a day or 2. If you're not sure, guys, refresh your screen, because guess what you'll have? You'll have this week's LA Rams, emojis. Full, you see right there, Drums and Cowboys showing it off there. The LA Lames, the knocked up there, the Rams. And of course, I'm not going to say the last one, but we'll just say it's... Take a look at that one if you're not sure what it is. You can take a look at their logo. You see a mistake they might have made. But either way, we're repping that star. That's our logo. Much love to, by the way, Skeptical Fan, much love to him. He dropped 2 of those. You know what that means? Our first guy in the raffle.
Woo!
First, and again, he's in the membership, so he's got 2 entries already, leading everybody else. But we also have another drop here, baby. Jason Renfro dropping that $10 Cash App holler. We do have a leader now in the Cash App. Oh, another one. Double R gets another one, because we got Skeptical Fan, the man, halfway to another raffle entry. And
he said, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's got the overall lead on the board. Jason, and of course the lead on the gifting side of things. Jason Renfro got the lead in the Cash App. He's in the raffle. Of course, he's also a star level member. Guess what? He's in the raffle with 2 entries for Jason Renfro. That battle is ensuing. Much love, Jason, in the lead there. Second place overall. First place is Skeptical Fan, and he's also first place on the gifting side of things. As you can see there, congrats to Double R. Double R gets another one there back in the membership. So hey, starting it off strong here, guys. We're adding you to the board. We're tallying the totals here, the numbers, and we will, look forward to see 2 lucky winners. If it ended right now, we have the 2 winners. Jason Renfro, Skeptical Fan. So anyways, we're just kicking it off today, guys. And again, you have you can keep building over the days. If it doesn't have to be all in one day, it could be multiple drops. It doesn't have to be in a 10. It could be 2 5s or 5 2s, whatever it is. It's your call. Either way, guys, much love for your love, support here, and a little giving love back here. The Lunatic was the big winner in the star level. He said, throw in an extra jersey. Let's raffle both them off. Much love to the man, the Lunatic, the Godfather here, and our membership side of things here on My Cowboys Family. Really, all Cowboy fan bases. Much love to the man, the Lunatic. Okay, we got it all out. We're going to talk some Cowboy football here. Before we get there, baby, I got to talk about who's in the house tonight. So, update me. Who's repping it here with us tonight? Talk about some Cowboy football. As we kick off a brand new week, no more bye week. It's the Rams time, guys. It's time to talk Cowboy football against the Rams.
Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports. What's up? Rolando Rodriguez in the house. Much love. Double R representing, of course. Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical and dropping those emojis.
Yeah.
By the way, I did check out. I don't know if you saw my response there, but love that little Earth Day or early birthday, gift from your mom, or was it for your mom? Let me see, for your mom. Sorry about that. So that is awesome. You'll see. I'll show you later. But Skeptical Fan, got his mom.
Oh yeah, he did show. I did see
the
that.
Cowboy
I
gear,
saw that. That was awesome. I give him a heart. That was freaking awesome.
So,
Yes.
just saying, ride in style.
Hell yeah, man. That's the way. Now, our opponent this week, I just want to say them real quick. You got the LA, we call them the lames, right? The LA lames. But there's a couple other things I wanted to show up. Some of the, again, emojis that you guys may have, but also a little bit of stuff I'll throw up here if need to during the week, whatever it may be. I mean, I want to see the Rams get rammed. That's what I want to see. We're going to see them live, baby. Us, the kids, live watching this game in AT&T Stadium.
And MCF stays consistent.
Hell yeah.
So.
They do have a guy named Brett Maher. Hopefully they'll get us 3 points because they just ain't doing much out there. Maher may not even be there. I'll talk about that in a little bit. He's got his issues with the Rams right now and Sean McVay. But the one I wanted to show you guys, the one I got to show quickly, the one you may have, as an emoji in there is this one. You look at that logo. I mean, it is kind of a real, it's a questionable logo there. Little dickheads. What these Rams fans are. Anyways, I'm done with that. Anyways, baby. Yes, we're going to play the LA Lames, and let's hope we kick their ass all over the field. Now, go ahead. I know you're doing the shout-outs. I don't want to...
Nope, it's all good. We have Lost in Translation, What's Up, Much Love. Of course, Double R. Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical. I'm just going to redo the shout-outs from the beginning. Mike Aldana representing. Rolando Rodriguez, Much Love. Daniel Berry Sports in the house. We have Jason Renfro. Much love to you, of course.
Hey, Skeptical Fan.
There it is. Skeptical Fan. Much love.
That J. Lou $2 holler. What did the man say?
Bang, bang.
Yeah, I know. It's that there. They got that song over there. Bang, bang. The Niners are dead today.
Bang, bang. He shot me down.
Niners
bang,
are.
Bang,
Niners were shot. You know what's funny? I did pick the Vikings today. Do
you want to explain that?
It's okay. No, well, if I go into detail,
add context.
I was going to pick the Niners tonight in the sense of who I thought was going to win.
Like pretty much every logical person outside of Viking fandom.
The thing is, even with that, I had picked initially the Vikings. I said, let me hold that at the Vikings. I know they're going to miss at least 2 guys this week, and I never went back and fixed it. And I said, I was going to go with the Niners probably. I'll go with the Niners. I still was on the fence, but man, I made a mistake. I hit I made the wrong pick. It's done. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. Hey, I'm a happier man today. I got the pick. We got the Cowboys there now. Same losses to the Niners. We still have to.
That's a pick I'm happy to lose.
Yeah, exactly. We still have to get one more than them though, because they win tiebreaker. Remember that. But now we're right there, guys. Basically, they're a half game in front of us. Eagles, game and a half in front of us right now.
But seriously, that makes a huge difference, and every little bit matters here. So Tommy Montoya representing in the house here. Speaking of, House Nelson. In the house. It does feel much better to watch Maher miss on another team. We just
knew it's always going to be there. And Maher missing is, it's there. It's always around.
It's like rain falling from the sky. It's just a natural part of the life cycle.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
Anyway, let me keep going with the shout-outs. So Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. Monroe Gadet, much love, saying Brock didn't look so purdy tonight.
After his first loss in the regular season, how did he respond? Another loss. In the regular season. Not good there. Look, I'll talk about that in a minute here. I don't know if you want me to kick it off, baby.
No, I'm literally not done with the shout-outs yet. I'm trying to keep going.
The family's in the house.
Cowboys, much love. Jalen in the house. We have Aztec Aguilar 04, much love. Pioneer representing Griff 181, peace to you. Andrew Ruiz, and Dak, I trust. Hey, honestly.
With the right offense, I definitely trust.
Yeah, and not just that, but after his last few days and weeks,
Yeah, you see some quarterbacks out there not looking so good getting paid.
Dak is not Patrick Mahomes, but he's certainly not
Justin Herbert.
Brandon James Shea, what's up? We have Stephen White in the house. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah. Cool, Colin K, C Bass. I think that's everyone here so far. Perfect. So it looks like that's all the shout-outs.
I see Skeptical Fan here saying...
who's hurt besides Trent? The
Trent
49ers.
Williams, the left tackle, and also Deebo Samuel's out for at least this week and next week. McCaffrey was kind of questionable, but I knew who was going to play. I just went with missing too many people on the offensive side. I thought that might slow them down. Vikings, they're attacking. They have nothing to lose. Kirk Cousins on primetime won. Holy shit, that really happens. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go into a big congrats here to the Texas Rangers. Whether you're a Rangers fan or not. Right there, the adjacent team of baseball there to the Cowboys are the Texas Rangers, and they stomped the Astros, the Houston Astros. Where's Eastside Harold at? He ain't nowhere to. He's crying right now in the shower. The Houston Astros got stomped by the Texas Rangers, and the Rangers clinched their first American League pennant since 2011. congrats to them. Big congrats to them. Again, first time in the World Series, first time the American League champions since 2011. The Rangers headed to the World Series. This is their third pennant, the first since 2011. So again, not that many pennants for them. And now they've got their, first since over a decade ago, 11-4 win over the Houston Astros in Game 7 of the American League Conference Final there. And Texas now, they're going to face, they're going to Game 7 now on the other side in the National League. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to play Game 7. I think it's tomorrow, right? No, I think it's tomorrow. They will be playing it tomorrow, Tuesday night, Philadelphia and Arizona. The winner of that will probably be having, I think the winner of that travels to Texas. Pretty sure about that. Which, by the way, it's officially beginning in Arlington on Friday. Guess who's there on Friday, baby?
Maybe one or two people I know.
Yeah, just maybe the MCF family here, in proper, right?
With little G and little J in tow.
Yes. So we're gonna get some World Series flavor in a city that, even though we know we're Cowboys first, it's gonna be nice to have kind of that energy from a World Series. And again, Friday, Saturday, first two games are there in Arlington.
Look, let's be honest. We're all just sitting here hoping that some of that World Series championship luck rubs off on the Cowboys. That little adjacent taste of greatness just across the street, basically, leaves a little leftover dust on us and gives us the chance to, I don't know, be in a similar position.
I know. With the last team, the Mavericks, the Mavericks, the Rangers. Now, of course, making it this far. What's the other? I know the soccer teams have also made the hockey. They've all made their championships respectively here in the last decade or so. I mean, the Cowboys. It's been too many damn years. 3 decades almost. This cannot happen anymore. What the fuck, man? Jerry Jones must have made a deal with the devil. Now we're in this situation. So, anyways, look. Outside of baseball, as we turn to our NFL and our Cowboys going forward, of course, the Niners played Monday Night Football again, at the Minnesota Vikings today. And hey, Kirk Cousins shined. Did a great job. Jordan Addison got hurt, but he shined. They took care and controlled the game against the Niners today, guys. A big kind of, again, I'm not here celebrating, jumping up and down. I look at the Niner fans. It's not really about that for me. It's more about Cowboys better get the shit done, and they got to get done and ready. They got to get their shit fixed, and then you get to the playoffs. You're going to play a team like the Niners. Yeah, I know. Ha, ha, ha. They lost 2 in a row, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a fuck? Because in the playoffs, they'll fucking abuse us again if we don't fix the things that are ailing us right now. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm being real about this. So it's great that they lost. Fuck the Niners and fuck the Eagles. It would have been a 100% winning bye week if the damn Eagles would have taken an L yesterday against the Dolphins. But it didn't happen. The Eagles are pounding through there. And right now, it doesn't matter if we're second best in the league, in the NFC. If the Eagles are number 1, we're number 5. We're going to be playing the 4th seed on the road. That's just the way it's going to happen because you can't have, only one team can win the division. So we got to, as important as it is for the Niners to lose some games and catch some ground on them, and the Lions lost the other day against the Ravens. It's great for the Cowboys and like tiebreakers and battling for that number 1 seed. It don't fucking matter if we don't pass the Eagles. That's the key there. So again, good to see the Niners lose. 22-17 against the Vikings on Monday night. Brock Purdy got picked 2 times. The Niners got picked all year 3 times. They got picked 3 times in this game. 3 turnovers in this game. Kirk Cousins connected with the rookie Jordan Addison for 2 first-half touchdowns. And I talked about Cameron Bynum. He got 2 interceptions in the 4th quarter against Brock Purdy. Hey, we talked about those 4th quarter interceptions yesterday with Herbert. Now Purdy's throwing them. A guy usually don't do them. I know Dak did throw one this year against the Cardinals. It was a desperation one, in my opinion. Dak rarely throws those decisive 4th quarter picks. Brock Purdy, still early, right? So, but again, he had 2 in the 4th quarter. Threw big picks there, and to the same guy, and they took the L. Christian McCaffrey scored twice for the Niners. Big run for him earlier in the game there. 5-2 are the Niners now. They're basically half a game in front of the Cowboys. And you look at that as a full game in front of us when you look at the tiebreaker, right? But McCaffrey scored twice, lost her 2nd straight, though, for the first time in a 34-game stretch. I mean, we haven't lost twice in like 2 years. So, again, back-to-back games like that. We talked about McCarthy's record after a loss. Our last 8 losses dating back to 2021, we never had a back-to-back loss since then. So, congrats to McCarthy on that side of things in this team. Now, I will say when it comes to Jordan Addison, he had the play of the game, and they threw that Shavarius Ward, former Cowboy, had a pick in his hands, and he basically ripped it right out of his hands. In the last couple of seconds of the fourth quarter, I think he scored with 7 seconds left on a 60-yard touchdown, and they missed the extra point. The kicker missed it, but it was 16-7 at half. And like I said, final score was 22-17. So, that's the way that cookie crumbled for the Niners tonight. Now, I'm hearing a lot of fans out there for the Niners bitching about Brock Purdy's not good enough. Christian McCaffrey, he's not. Man, this is the first time both these guys lost back-to-back. The first time they both lost in the regular season since they've been with the fucking 49ers. So these Niner fans got to shut the fuck up. Had a couple bad games. Trust me, against us, they'll play better. Just remember that. They know us better than they know, even teams like the Vikings and others out there. They are ready for us. They play up for us. They don't play up for the Vikings. So that's the thing. I say, it's great. I'm glad. I hope we can get the number 1 seed. But in the end, it's going to be a sad ending to this thing if we don't get our shit fixed for our Cowboys with these fucking coaches and these fucking players. That's all. I mean, I'm just being real about it. That's it.
I agree. I mean, again, I just think it's kind of funny because I think even we are better prepared to handle our team not looking great, for a beat or two. So
I think that first loss against the Cardinals and then against the Niners, that kind of knocked us off our ass a little bit then. They're just getting knocked off the ass now.
It did, but I think that they had a different mentality. Like, they really thought they were, the hot shit, the number 1 team and all that stuff. So, we
thought so. We were up there, too.
And I think part of it, I imagine, is, like you kind of mentioned very briefly, though, the back-to-back nature of it. Like, even we were able to have a little bit of a bounce back after the Cardinals game, and obviously we're hoping to have a similar type of, what?
Yeah, we bounced back against the Niners, too, when we have the Charger win,
right? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, we at least had a little bit of that, okay, like, we look bad, but at least we turn around and actually won our next game.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Niners, again,
slipping
losing back-to-back is never fun. Ever.
It's the thing is about having an extra day of break, having a Viking team that never really wins on the road. I mean, wins on prime time. The Niners still, they had a couple guys injured, but so did we. Everybody does. So you gotta overcome it, right, Niners?
Yeah, but that is part of it, right?
The Niners didn't overcome it tonight. That's the good thing. There's some cracks in there. Can we take advantage of that if we meet them in the playoffs later? I still got to see it. I can't just say it because they lost today to the Vikings,
I agree. So Eric Black throwing out there, ain't no blueprint to beating the 49ers or the She-Gulls. Just go out there and kick their ass. Nothing more, nothing less.
We have to be better. I agree. Eric, I agree. The problem is that we are sitting too much on our laurels. We're not taking these games personal. Not us here, fans. Them, the players, the coaches. They're not getting, McCarthy's not getting them prepared for the wild card game, the loss. They weren't ready, for that. Kellen Moore didn't have them ready for that loss last year. This time around, not taking it personal, Micah Parsons. I'm just saying, this is a problem with the Cowboys. We have to fix our shit. If we do, we can beat any team in the NFL.
Jonathan Cowboys throwing out there, the Vikings and Browns just gave the blueprint on how to beat the 49ers offense. Addison reminds me of our Lamb in build and route running.
It'd be nice. We can do this. We can beat this team. It's just I won't believe it until I see it. And I know we can see it. We got to get the shit together right on our side.
I feel like
we can beat this team.
I slightly disagree just because I do agree 100% with Drums and Cowboys. The template, the blueprint, the ability on how to do it is there just as much as it was back when we got figured out by the Broncos, those years ago with Kellen Moore. It's the same thing. Now, whether we actually rise to the challenge and do it is a separate thing. But the fact that the easy 10 steps on how to beat the Niners guide, it's basically been released. We didn't even have to go out there and release it, right?
We have to see how Shanahan, saying he's going to be able to adjust. I would trust him more than Kellen Moore in adjusting. But if he's figured out even a little bit, it's going to make his games a lot harder from here on out. That happened. That's why I said, even after that Niners loss, I said, we got to see a difference from our side. And hey, you never know other teams. I'm not saying we're going to see injuries or want injuries, but that happens. It happens to us. And you're also going to see changes and schemes getting figured out. So if the Niners just hit if the shit hits the fan with them, they might drop out a little bit on this. Listen, I'm not counting any of these teams out. I'm just saying this. The Niners may come back. They might not bounce back. My point is, I don't care. The Cowboys have to fix their thing, or it don't matter. We're going to lose to the Eagles. We're talking about the Niners, So I think we can beat the Eagles. We can beat them twice this year, not just in the regular season. I'm talking about in the playoffs once. I think we can do this and overcome the Eagles. We know the Eagles better. The Niners have our number. They don't have us ready to go for some reason. So at least we can say this. After that Niner loss a couple weeks ago, aren't we in a better place? Feeling at least a little bit better. I'm not going to hype you guys up. I'm not going to hype this up and say, oh, yeah, we're the best, like a lot of other places will. But I'm going to say this.
Feeling better,
I'm
I think, is
feeling.
I'm
feeling a lot better about, the hope for the season. I still have to see the Cowboys do what needs to be done. Until then, I might not be able to see that until the playoffs. And I have to wait till then. Until then, I'm still going to say in the back of my mind, I got to see more. Even if we win every single game from here on out, I got to see more. I got to see playoffs, consistency, and winning. That's what I got to see. So we can win every game from here on out. I'm not a believer yet until we do it in the playoffs against the top teams, the cream of the crops. And even having bad games now, let's see what happens then. Because it don't matter. We got to win against these guys later on, and that's what I care about. We're not going to have a team step. We're not have the Browns or the Vikings step in for us.
Exactly.
We have to win this game.
So, real quick, I did want to address one little point here by Pioneer, who was asking no penalty flags on the Eagles, like not a single one. And I'm not,
yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
I'm one to be very lenient when it comes to a lot of the ref stuff, outside of like super blatant stuff. But even I admit I'm a little surprised that an area penalty was thrown their way.
Well,
because I watched a few points of that game that definitely just that's it. All I'm trying to say is that I'm surprised they ended the game with no penalties.
We're gonna
conspiracy involved.
We're gonna actually talk about the Eagles a little bit more here in a minute here, but the Eagles, the biggest penalty was the Cedric Wilson penalty. They grabbed his face mask, they didn't call it. I mean, it was obvious. But hey, listen, we cannot hope the refs win games
I agree.
Or the Eagles lose games. We got to win our games.
Agree.
We got to win our games.
And that's why I said I didn't really want to dwell on it, but it is something that deserves to be acknowledged, right? So I wish there was like a better, happier medium between that, right? Where we can maybe discuss some of the inconsistencies when it comes to the refereeing without necessarily making it sound like we're trying to blame the refs or put it on them.
We need consistency from the refs, but you can't. Cowboy fans, you got to get it out of your head. You cannot count on the refs. If you count on the refs, or the players count on the refs, or the coaches count on the refs, lost. We are going to lose. That's bitch made. So I'm just saying. Listen, the Dolphins. We talked about the Dolphins a minute ago against the Eagles. Well, I'll talk about them in a minute here. Marco Seppian dropping that J. Lou $2 holler in the house. Much love. Much love.
To the man Marco Seppian. Appreciate you. You know what he had to say.
I know he's out for a couple of days. Appreciate him back. I can't wait to hear what the man from Hawaii has to say.
Jerry Jones and McCarthy have to go for real hope. Man, when we see some of the moves, Mark, I know you're feeling that anger. Like, man, we're all working with the same pie. Why do other people get such a bigger slice? Why does everybody else get a cherry pie? We're getting like 3-day-old crusty ass McDonald's apple pie.
Mark, Mark's been here for a couple of years. He knows the deal. He's in third place, by the way, on the overall board. He had 3 in a row. That three-peat. He dropped it off, but hey, always a new week, new chances. Much love to Mark, the $2 holler, and you're opening the door for about the next thing we're going to talk about here, which has to do with the movement of pie for the Eagles. Cowboys sit on their hands, and they do this all the time. Why? They will always play this game. At least, maybe it'll change one day, but they've always, a decade of this. We've seen it here in My Cowboys Family, a decade of these games. It's just, we'll talk about it in a minute. I promise you, Mark. Get back to him in a minute. Jason has 71 points, by the way. Let's go style. So, I want to go back to the Dolphins real quick. And that game against the Eagles, not that it was important about the game as much. Of course, that's more important. We love to see the Eagles lose, but the Dolphins were selected this year as the in-season Hard Knocks team. So again, it's a good a good team to grab because again they're 5-2. They are one of the best teams in the AFC. It's an interesting, exciting,
Yeah, like when you look at it objectively, outside of just our own, obviously, personal Cowboy perspective, the Dolphins are actually doing some interesting things, and it makes for good TV, I think, for sure. They
had the Colts once, and I think that was exciting because they got to the last game, and they were knocked out. They get the Cardinals. But the Cardinals, they were, again, they had a bunch of injuries. They were just crap. So that was kind of like, eh. Still, I still watch them both, and I'll watch this one as well. I think it's interesting, even if it's not the Cowboys. It's still interesting to see the behind-the-scenes stuff going on. But anyways, the Dolphins selected as the in-season team, one of the most interesting teams in the NFL, currently one of the leaders in the AFC, like I said, and featured by NFL Films. It's going to start off later on this fall sometime. So keep that in mind. It's going to air on Max. And again, third year for this in-season Hard Knocks. Like I said, the Colts and the Cardinals were the other two. Dolphins, again, a huge get. And again, the top-ranked offense. So we're going to hear a lot of the background, behind-the-scenes stuff going on there. By the way, in case you're wondering about our Cowboys in this, we're going to be making an appearance. Why do I say that? Yeah. The Cowboys visit Miami Week 16. So, it's going to be a lead-up to the game against us that whole week. So we're going to have, we're going to get to see a lot of behind-the-scenes about how they prepare for the Cowboys. And it's got a lot of chronicle of this game and the game itself, what happens afterwards for the Dolphins. But again, an important game for us as well. So, keep that in the back of your minds when we get to that point. They're going to be doing the in-season, Hard Knocks there on HBO. So keep an eye out for that. Now, moving on, and we're getting close to Mark's comment here because it kind of ends my NFL news. NFL is asking for injury report compliance. It basically questions to the Atlanta Falcons about when they knew that rookie running back Bijan Robinson was not physically well and why it was not reported on their practice list. So, again, this is league policy.
Yeah,
you
I was
must
going to say
show it
some
on the reports.
shenanigans there. I think the last team to do something similar, I saw the Patriots try to do something like that last year. You know what I mean? So, not great.
Yeah, again, standard practice for the league to question teams about a player if he is not included on the weekly injury report and then is either unavailable for the game, a healthy scratch, let's say, something like that, or plays far less than what typically occurs for that player. Those kind of violations have been met with fines. Teams have been fined for doing that to players. And, not to players, but doing that to the NFL, let's say, on the injury reports. So, again, that's just part of the policy stuff. Interesting little background on Bijan Robinson. The Falcons just basically didn't play him as much, and they never have him on an injury report. So what's going on, right? A guy who is banged up a little bit after that game yesterday against the Dolphins, the Eagles, quarterback Jalen Hurts. He was banged up, his knee. But again, he was kind of limping off the field after the game. Not a big deal for him, guys. And again, I want this guy full healthy. I don't want no excuses for the Eagle fans. He had a brace at the end of the game as the game ended. Nothing that's going to keep him out of a game, and he even said there's a good chance it will not keep him out of practice. He said after the game that he would be, quote, fine. So, again, just 10 days to go before we play the Eagles? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to him in Philly. That's great. I can't wait to the Cowboys in Philly. But we got to take care of business against the Rams first. Now, I do also want to say, very interesting situation going on out there when it comes to these illegal hits or unnecessary roughness hits. We heard about those pregame fight stuff. I talked about that a couple days ago and the new rules on that. Kareem Jackson from the Denver Broncos, defensive back, is getting a 4-game suspension. That's the longest for violating a player safety rule since Vontaze Burfict from the Bengals. He got 12 games for those dirty hits. And also Myles Garrett. Again, you remember that fight he had? He took off the helmet of Mason? Was it Mason
Crosby?
Not Mason Crosby. Was it Mason Crosby? No.
You sure?
It was Mason Rudolph, I think. I don't know. It was the quarterback for the Steelers, and he took his helmet off and started swinging it at him. He got 6 games for that. Burfict got 12 games. This is a 4-game suspension for Kareem Jackson for this. Basically, it's a player safety rule that he violated. He was basically, again, like Burfict was targeting, and Garrett was unsportsmanlike conduct. Mason Rudolph was the quarterback. I was right.
There we go. Yeah.
So, again, Kareem Jackson has a 4. Now, he's getting this. Now, a lot of people are saying, why is he getting 4 games? And that's weird because, it looked like a bad hit. He hit
not
him.
The kicker, Mason Crosby. Yeah.
That's what I was
just
like.
said the first Mason that came to mind. I wasn't too far off.
No, Mason Rudolph.
Yes,
now, who knows where the hell he is, quarterback formerly of the Steelers.
I
But
know.
Safety Kareem Jackson, gone for 40 games. Why? The hit that was involved, again, if you look at it against the Packers, it hit him like in the shoulder pad, neck, face area. It was a dirty hit, but he was thrown out the game, and then he was suspended 4 more. So here's what the NFL said, quote.
It seems a little much for just that one hit by itself.
Yeah, he said, quote, this is what the NFL said, quote, on the play in question, you delivered a forceful blow to the head and neck area of a defenseless receiver when you had the time and space to avoid such contact. You could have made contact with your opponent within the rules, yet you chose not to. And they also said that, he had multiple offenses in the past.
Okay, so it wasn't just this thing.
Right, it was not just one. It was multiple offenses for personal fouls this season. It wasn't like over his career. It was this year. He violated player safety rules, I think at least 2 times, but one was a similarly flagrant situation where he could have laid off. He laid into the receiver, defenseless guy. In week 2 against Washington, he was also thrown out of that game.
Jeez.
So he was thrown out of a game, and I thrown another game. Now he's suspended for 4 games.
It.
Yeah. So he's been, these things have been mounting on him. He's going to be suspended for the games against Kansas City, Buffalo, Minnesota, and Cleveland. Eligible to return to the Broncos active roster on November 27th, following that game against the Browns on the 26th. Under the CBA, the agreement, he can and probably will appeal the suspension, but he'll probably get, that'll probably be something the NFL is going to stay real tight with. The Cowboys have been punished for our own involvement in incidents against the Chargers. Now, you could go back to the other game we got fined left and right against the Niners. But we got fined against the Cowboy players got fined against the Chargers. You know this? So the Cowboys' unnecessary roughness penalties in this 20-17 win against the Chargers. Defensive edge rusher Dorrance Armstrong. Safety Marquise Bell and safety Jaron Kearse all got fined. Kearse again getting fined. Armstrong and Kearse had to pay a fine of $21,855 each. And Marquise Bell has to pay $4,681, a lot less of a fine. But the other two are big. So the second quarter hit involving Jaron Kearse on one, one of the Cowboys, it's kind of a tricky hit there. He was fined for a helmet-to-helmet of remember when Herbert kind of slid and he kind of ran into him with his helmet? Kearse kind of was pass rushing, came back around and hit him face-to-face. That's the fine. That's the one that drew a 15-yard penalty.
I know, but that still seems kind of dumb.
15-yard penalty at the time, right, during the game. That hurt us. And it's a subject of debate because Herbert was in the process of sliding when he was ready lined up to make the tackle. It's kind of unfair for Kearse. He couldn't do anything about that. And then he also drew a 15-yard penalty during the game another time. So last week as well, I think it's piling up on him. Dorrance Armstrong got one. And now, of course, so did Marquise Bell. So our guys are playing hard, I don't say dirty, but playing hard and paying some fines right now. I'm bringing up this situation with the Denver guy because they keep an eye on these things. And, right now, Jaron Kearse is stacking up these unnecessary roughness hits. I hope they take it in context. I hope they just look and just say, okay, he's got 3 of them already. He must be just as bad as this guy targeting people. So I hope they don't do that. So I wanted to update
on 10-808 saying football will be done in 5-10 years. It's too soft.
I mean, a lot of players would be done too if they allowed the hits they used to allow. And everything's going faster. Everyone's stronger. It's changed a little bit both in those ways as well.
Big mahalo to the man, MyCowboysFamily.
I got to add him to the board. Much love to him. He dropped that. Right. 5 on it. By the way, baby, you do know that he is it 3 now officially? From officially being in our big-ass raffle coming down here from the man, the lunatic.
Well, he had dropped 2 before that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know. He said he's
true,
3.
He is 3 away.
He's 3 away. He's got 7 total, and he's 3 away from getting in this raffle. We've been 1 of 2 jersey raffles. It's going to be 2 jerseys raffled off. Unlimited entries, so we keep stacking them. The entries in there for whoever, if you keep stacking. Like Skeptical Fan, almost there, another one.
Yeah. So
and of course, membership bonus entry too.
That's right. So, Mark, not really sure the last few weeks, YouTuber's been a little bit dumb with the super chats as far as like the speed of them, right?
They kind of slowed down. Now they seem to be back to normal though.
So maybe the super chats are on a bye week. But thank you, Marco Seppi, and a big mahalo with the $5 holler saying, I gave the draft a D+ and was called a hater. To that, we don't spend money. Maybe Jerry Jones is saving the money to pay off Dak and his $60 million and not re-sign him if he's bad. Well,
that's the question we gotta wait and see here. I think Jerry Jones, like he did before, wants to just keep waiting until maybe things change. Maybe Dak looks worse, so he don't have to pay as much. But he looks better, so he can then feel good about giving him the bigger contract. I think that's he's just waiting on that right now. See how this season goes. So I don't know if I called him a hater, Mr. Marco Seppian, but I think that like every draft, whether you like it or you hate it, you got to kind of wait and see what happens. Now, we were just giving our opinions, how it would fit on our team. These guys have not woken up yet. We talked about it the other day on the rookies. On this team, this is a complete bust right now. There's not one guy you can say that is making an impact on our team. The undrafted guys are making an impact. Brandon Aubrey's making an impact. But Deuce Vaughn is not. Eric Scott is not. Jalen Brooks is not. Junior Fehoko is not. Austin Richards is not. Overshone's injured. Schoonmaker's got 1 catch. And you got Mozzie Smith playing a little bit better. But it's still going to take a time with him, which I kind of knew that. But, yeah, it's a miss right now for this draft as of this moment. Things will change again, though. Things will change. It'll be like, ooh, it'll be better. And then it'll get worse, and it'll be better. It depends how things go. So, now, I want to touch the last part of what Mark said on that comment. By the way, Jason Renford is 66 points. But Marco Seppian said that we don't spend money. with the Cowboy front office. And that is 100% true, because today, an example of the Cowboys taking it easy, as they always do. You know, the Eagles, I would say they're probably the best ranked team. If you look at the power rankings, they're probably the highest ranking team out there. I'm sure they'll be out tomorrow. But the thing I'm trying to say about that's weird to me about that the Eagles being the top, is that they still, Howie Roseman, their GM, is still looking to make their team better. That's why they got to the Super Bowl. That's why they may win the Super Bowl, because they have the right mindset.
No offense, but shit like that makes me wonder, are you sure we're all working with the same cap? Are you sure about that?
100%. And that's the thing, is that they just manage the cap better. The pie is the pie is not enough pie going around. This is what Stephen Jones. Hey, we'll put up the fucking clown show up here for a second. Let me just go with this first. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, why we're talking about this, the Tennessee Titans today. You know, they traded AJ Brown for minimal picks to the Eagles, and now you see how good he's turned out. I mean, he's got more receiving yards, AJ Brown, than every single Tennessee Titan receiver added up together for the season.
Damn.
Versus him for the season. They could have traded the entire receiving core for the Titans, and they're still not as good as A.J. Brown. So A.J. Brown came for the Titans, and we go to the Raiders a lot and grab our guys, and the Eagles go to the Tennessee Titans a lot, it seems, because today they made a trade. Before the trade, not our guys, but today the Philadelphia Eagles made a trade with the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans trading all-pro defensive back safety Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles will be spending. The Eagles sent the Titans a 2024 fifth-round pick, a 2024 sixth-round pick, and safety Terrell Edmonds, who got burned last night against the Dolphins. So they get rid of their shitty players, and they throw in their low-end pick for a guy who's high value. Kevin Byard is a dog. He's a great player, one of the best safeties. He's not really talked too much about. Every time we play him, he picks us. So now he's with the Eagles for 2 games. So Kevin Byard, you got to remember, guys, again, 2-time All-Pro. He gets $11 million this year, but the Titans paid $7 million of his $11 million in a signing bonus of part of a revised, they hit that button on the deal back in July. So there's not that much cash that the Eagles have to pay. Maybe $3-4 million. Maybe $3 million in incentives on top of that. That's not that much. They're paying $4 million for a guy they're getting, after 6 weeks, 7 weeks of the season, who's a fucking first team All-Pro, a 2-time first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler. I think it's a great deal for the Eagles. That's why Roseman is better than these fucking clowns, these 2 schmucks. And I hate to say it. I hate to say this, guys. I know. Listen, I've heard some friends of mine that are Cowboy content creators, and they're out there saying, how dare you say Jerry Jones is not a better GM? They're living in la la land to try to make the Cowboy fans just jerk off all over themselves. Guys, Howie Roseman's a better GM than our Cowboy front office. And that's a fact. And so, again, whether they win a Super Bowl or not, the point is they're making moves to try to win. Do you guys understand that's the difference? The Cowboys don't make moves. They make a little splash here. They made a big splash for them. For the Cowboys, a big splash for getting Cooks and Gilmore. But they think they're good. They're going to just sit on that and use the undrafteds to win the Super Bowl. That's the issue. That's the clown show. So that is why the Eagles are getting a 2-time first-team All-Pro, a 2-time Pro Bowler, former NFL interception leader. And he just casually added to one of the best teams in the NFL right now. That's the way you improve yourself. Byard was born in Philadelphia, by the way. He named Brian Dawkins as one of his favorite players. This was back in the old days, right? So he obviously loves to play in Philadelphia. He's playing for that team. For the team is his favorite. I just want to say something to you guys for a minute here. Listen to our front office. We talk about it every day. What we've done. But look at the Eagles front office, who they acquired via trade over the last, on their roster right now. Wide receiver A.J. Brown for a first and a third rounder. I guess they gave up a lot for them, that's for sure. But they made the move. They had the balls to make the move for A.J. Brown. They made a trade for Darius Slay, cornerback. 5th rounder and a third rounder and a 5th rounder for Darius Slay. Boom, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. They got Kevin Byard, again, for a 5th, a 6th, and safety Terrell Edmonds. And then they also, don't forget, during the draft, they also got DeAndre Swift, who you see him out there. He's breaking ankles every time I see him out there. DeAndre Swift, they got him for a 4th, and they swapped 7th round pick. So They went out there, they put their balls on the table, and they said, we're going to make moves for guys that fit our team, that we like, that we know are good, and they're not going to worry about the money. They're just going out there and playing with the cap and making room and balancing the cap properly. And as Mark Hovsepian said, some of you guys are saying in the chat that, this is the reason why the Cowboys keep failing. I think they don't do much in the trade section. They don't sign any truly big deals and move the money around the right way. You look at the Cowboys right now. The Cowboys will do shoot themselves in the foot if they don't try to improve our team. And I'm not even upset because I know they probably will not do it with a high value player. We can upgrade and get help at receiver, running back, tight end, linebacker, cornerback, even defensive tackle. Just saying. And speaking of linebacker, I'm going to bring up a very good... What about this? This is a PFF kind of hypothetical trade for the Cowboys. But how would you feel if we offered a 2025? Now, not 2024, because we don't have many 2024 fifth rounders. But a 2025 fifth round pick for linebacker Jordan Hicks. We just saw him against the Niners tonight with the Vikings. His contract right now, I
have to admit, just before you even say anything else, I am intrigued.
His current contract, 1 year, $1.92 million. A little under $2 million.
That's basically chump change overall. Yeah, we're talking about contracts, and even in the Cowboy world, where $6 million is almost too rich for our blood, this is still well within the range.
The biggest thing is giving up a fifth rounder in 2025, but you want to win now. This is a guy that can help our linebacking core if we're not sure about it. So again, it's an example. You could probably do that with a couple other guys in other positions in the league. So, what did the Cowboys do? Look, I want to see what Rashaan Evans has to do. And in this game, he's going to be utilized against the Rams. I'll explain that a little later as you take a first look. But before we run to any trading for linebackers and running out there trading for, again, it could be someone like Derrick Henry or others out there. We talked about a lot of different possibilities, but I looked at lower level guys that'll fit our team better for lesser, having to give up less compensation. But either way, the Cowboys front office, I doubt they do shit. You know what we did do today, though, baby? We cut 2 players. The Cowboys released 2 players. We released offensive tackle Alex Taylor-Prillo, who's like a 6'7" offensive lineman. He was undrafted. And we also released linebacker Michael Jones from the practice squad. Both these guys on the practice squad. Michael Jones we picked up more recently. Guess didn't fit in too much with Dan Quinn, probably Bones. So he's gone. No replacements were added today. So we have 4 spots right now. No replacements right now. 16-man practice squad is at 12 players. Only 12 players on our practice squad. There's 4 spots open. So again, we did work out a lot of players last week. We talked about that already. We'll see if we add anybody. Some Cowboy fans think this means, we're going to make a blockbuster trade. The practice squad spots are useless. There's no blockbuster trades that are going to be made because there's 4 spots open in our practice squad. So let's just understand all that together. Again, you could move a guy, cut him, and then move him back on the practice squad if you make a move on your 53. Fine. Do you think do these guys look like they're going to do that? What do you think? I don't think so. This clown show will continue. Whether we agree or disagree, that's the way they do things. I wish they would make more aggressive efforts to go out there and grab some guys, but they want to have 27 picks every year in the draft. Much love, Mark Hovsepian, dropping that 1-2 J. Lou. Dollar holler. What did the man say? He's 1 away, by the way, for being entered officially in the double jersey raffle coming up soon. So what did the man say?
I'd give up on Mozzie and our tight end from Philly. I'd give up Mozzie and our tight end for the Philly wide receiver as they did.
Again, A.J. Brown. Bringing him in for Mozzie and for... Who was the other player? And for linebacker?
Yeah.
Tight end. Yeah, well, you'd have to give up Overshown. That was a 3rd rounder. That's the 2 picks you would have given up, right? But, again, 20. What is that? Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
It's I'm saying it's hard. If the Cowboys would have picked maybe made better picks at those positions, we might be saying different things about that right now, right? Especially with CeeDee Lamb and some receivers we have here already. But
I think the thing that still kind of grinds both of our gears is knowing some of the handful of names that were still up on the board, and these were the guys that we drafted instead. Yep. So that part's still, it's going to take some time, I think. We got to see our draft start to do a little better before we can get over that particular problem. So I did want to take a second here to hit up the chat, but before I do, you guys already know. to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. And of course, follow us on all social media and everywhere.
At MyCowboysFamily.
At MyCowboysFamily.
Much love to the sponsor of the week and the king of the Cash App, Takeover Man, SnugX. You know why he's here. Appreciate you, Snug. Much love to Jason Renfro, 64 points in the stream boss, the gifting champion, the gifting leader currently right now. Oh, no, I'm saying Skeptical Fans currently the overall leader and the gifting leader. And our Cash App leader is Jason Renfro. I think I covered all the bases there. That's pretty good. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Appreciate your love and support. And of course, one last thing from The Lunatic. I'm going to keep doing this. I don't want nobody to miss a chance to get into this thing. But a double jersey raffle. Sewn and stitched jersey. You got all the... Listen, any team, any sport, whatever we have available through the Command Cowboy Mosh, sewn and stitched jerseys. You know how we do with the Cowboys. There's so many different choices. We got like 30 different guys we've shown on screen here, baby. How do they get in this raffle? And what's the rules of the raffle?
If you drop $10 or more, of course, bam, automatically entered to win it. And they are cumulative, right? So like, let's say you're sprinkling the drops, right? Every 2, 3, whatever. Like, it all adds up, guys, because every additional 10 is an additional bonus entry. You already know that membership has its perks. If you are a member, of course, you do get some additional bonus entries into this raffle.
Yeah, so... and again, that is the way you keep. If you stack them, if you have membership, you get better chances to increase your chances, more entries, and try to win one of these 2 jerseys that we are raffling off here. And you get to choose which. We're not giving you the one we want to give you. You're choosing out of many, many choices. So much love to the Lunatic for making this thing happen. And go Cowboys, as always. So hit up the chat, baby, real quick as we keep rolling here. And, we're going to get to Mike McCarthy, who spoke today. Some of the players, a couple players spoke today. And then a quick first look at the Rams as we finish this thing up.
Let me see here. Matt Persico said, once Coop started opening his mouth to the media, I knew he wasn't going to be here long. Just because I had kind of made the comment way back earlier in the chat when we had read Mark's comment about, outside moves and things like that. I just said, I'm like, well, maybe part of it is the last time the Cowboys even attempted a move like that, it ended up with Amari Cooper, which... I think by all measures ended up hurting us.
The front office
way more than helping us. Big picture.
Bad management by the front office. I think, and that whole thing. Bad management. If the front office didn't do that, they handled that differently, or made him more a priority in the passing game. I think that Amari Cooper shows his worth that way. But hey, Cowboys were stubborn to do it their way.
So, let me see here. Thomas Garrett said, I ain't saying anything. I'm going to just let everything fall into place next week at the deadline. Y'all need to stop letting the Joneses tease y'all like this. Wow. So, hey, I mean... I don't think
you're talking about me. Because he ain't teasing me. I'm just letting you know the options out there, and it's low level. It ain't no Derrick Henrys or Devontae Adams. Ain't that bullshit. But the Eagles, they go do their thing, and they don't care what anybody else thinks. And, they roll the dice, they take some chances, and they are, they seem to be at least a little more successful than we have been. I'm going to leave it at that. When it comes to making those moves. Being aggressive like that.
Pioneer said, we're trapped in Jerry World. 5 nights at Jerry World. It cracks me up. So, now just kind of rolling back. Dirty South, what's up? Much love. Drums and Cowboy said, Coop was brave enough to tell you the truth about Dak, and he was sent off. Honestly,
no.
Cooper never criticized
Who said that, by
Dak.
The way? Yeah, who said that?
That was... Drums and Cowboys.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Never really criticized Dak. He criticized the offensive scheme.
And that wasn't that. It wasn't just that. I mean, there's a false quote out there by Amari Cooper saying that
that's right. Yeah,
I hate Dak is the problem. That you don't believe that, guys. That was never said by Amari Cooper. Please understand that.
That was some troll.
Yeah, that's literally fake news. That's someone fucking with you guys. That somebody just put it out there to see if someone can hate Dak. If you hate Dak, you're going to have extra hate. You're going to even hate him more if you see that. I saw that. I'm like, let me check this shit out. And immediately you found out it's fake. So just do it, I just want to make sure everyone knows. If that's the quote he's mentioning, it's a completely fake quote. Amari Cooper never said that. In fact, him, Randall Cobb, and many others said that's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play with. After they left, they said this about Dak and about, from trustworthy, fantastic receiving sources.
So, let me roll back here. Okay, and then Thomas, I kind of figured. Don't worry. He's saying, I'm not saying you, bro. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
So, figured it was in response to something else there. let me kind of roll back. And by the way, guys, I didn't want to mention, thank you so much for all the birthday love.
Yes.
And appreciation. That was very nice, very kind. Had a very nice birthday today, thanks to Mr. MCF. So thank you, baby.
There you go.
Just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, thank you, baby. I mean, hey, as I've been saying all weekend, happy birthday, and it was a great day for us and for you, obviously, primarily.
Guess what? Now we can celebrate next year's birthday now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, let's go.
65. Just kidding. Let me see. Pioneer kind of thrown out there. Jerry likes his guys.
Yeah, those are facts.
But yeah, with our draft also being, like you kind of mentioned, we don't have that many picks to go around. Combined with, the kind of impact and the kind of pick you would have to give up to bring in said impactful guy. Yeah. Jerry's probably not going to do anything or get anyone. So
yeah, I wouldn't put too much in that.
Thank you, Justin D. Appreciate that. Matt Persico, much love. Thank you.
Well,
so
I know that Matt Persico said something about what Dak basically said. What Mari said about Dak, and I think that's a little taken out of context.
He basically said, "Dak, if you don't change the play and throw me the ball and go route, I'm gonna strangle you." No,
I he didn't say that, but he's
joking.
Yeah, I know.
He's joking with the paraphrase, but he did.
He said that in the first when he first got 6-7 games into the Cowboys, and he said that against the Eagle game when they were going with Lenahan's vanilla plays and Dak was not taking ownership of the team. Amari Cooper said, in the game you can hear him saying it afterwards. He was talking about it, so that was kind of what we talked about. The issue with the offensive scheme was obviously whether Dak saw it or not, or was too much of a yes man. That's more the issue with Dak than it is he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I think Amari, I love that Amari spoke out. Not against Dak, but against really the scheme. And against maybe what was going on there.
And obviously it was partially Dak because, to act like Dak wasn't part of that scheme is kind of silly, but it wasn't directly attacking Dak Prescott the way that fake quote that was going around made it seem like.
Yeah,
so,
I hear it.
Just want to be clear. So thank you, Bruce Got the Toxic Juice. Appreciate that. Montana 808 said, if you're picking 26 or below, fuck those picks. Get guys for the Super Bowl run.
That's what I hate to say this. That's what the Eagles are doing. They say, "Fuck it, we're gonna go for it, the gold," and they got almost there last. They got the silver last year.
We only hate to say it because, again, like you said, it's Eagles. If we were doing this shit, we'd be jumping on our couch, excited, happy.
Yeah, we'd be hyping this shit up more than the Eagles are. But again, look, the point I'm trying to say is I don't really care what the Eagles do. Let them keep stacking them. All I can say is that we have to handle our business. Our Cowboys got to handle the business. I don't care what the Niners do, the Eagles do. It'd be nice when they lose. That's great. We got to beat them. And until we do that, they're going to have to sell me on that in the playoffs. And we got to get there first. We got to, if we don't win the East, we're going to be fifth. We're playing at Atlanta or at Tampa or something like this, or at the Saints. So we'll get through that before we even think about the Eagles or the Niners in the playoffs. If we don't get that East and we don't get the number one or whatever, wherever else we fall on that. So anyways, just leaving that there, guys. And I'm going to go into a different side of things, I guess, now after we got the moves the Cowboys did today, which is 2 cuts and no trades. Which, again, that's the 99% chance no trades are going to happen here. If they do, it's going to be a Jonathan Hankins, a solid trade, but not like a blockbuster trade that everyone's hoping for. Like a buyer, to me, is a blockbuster kind of trade, a big-name top guy at his position. I mean, I guess you could say Hankins was that last year, but obviously the position is not so hyped. So, again, I think that you might try to go for some depth at corner, linebacker, something that can maybe some guy who can half start and move the Ron Bland back to the slot. I'd like to see that. But we got to get someone really solid on the outside corner. Till then, it's just a pipe dream. I can sit here and tell you guys, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It's all bullshit. It's not going to. We don't know what's going to happen to the front office. Don't hold your breath when it comes to them making any trades of significance. And I mean Cowboy fan base significance. Here, I understand why some of these trades are done, and there's some solid trades can be done still, even if it's not groundbreaking moves. Landlord from Alabama in the house, dropping that 5 on it.
Ooh.
What does Landlord have to say, baby?
What's happening, MCF in chat? And happy birthday, MCW. Ooh. The other receivers have twice as many targets as CD. We need to #spam Lamb.
I've been saying we got to, we were talking about Amari Cooper earlier. Amari Cooper, who was kind of not really schemed. He was not really worked. He was kind of like another receiver. That's what we cannot allow to happen to CeeDee Lamb. And I think
exactly. And I hate to say it, but with CeeDee Lamb, it almost hurts even more, just because it's one thing for an outside guy to kind of never really quite fall fully into step with the Cowboys, right? But CeeDee Lamb is ours.
I mean,
we drafted him.
Listen, Jerry gave him 88. That's a special number.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it is impactful that we're talking about CeeDee Lamb, but the fact that we're talking about CeeDee Lamb in this context, it's not great. And I admit that most of it is not on CeeDee Lamb himself.
Yeah, to me, it
feels like, if you really want to point fingers, it feels like the scheme is the biggest one to kind of take over as far as for the blame, right? A little bit towards Zach, a little towards CeeDee. Mainly just circumstance. Man, I wish. Matt Persico said, no, let's keep giving Gallup the ball. Obviously, very sarcastically. I mean, hey, it's a winning strategy, right? Just keep targeting Michael Gallup. He'll catch it eventually.
Well, and you think that would happen. The last game, we targeted him a lot, and he didn't catch it much. But the thing is this about CeeDee Lamb, and this is what I was trying to say. I did see Mike McCarthy. Let me leave old Mike on, because he's about to talk. We're going to hear a couple quick quotes from him and interesting little things on injury updates and his feeling about Byard and his trade. But when you look at Mike McCarthy and his scheme, I got to give him, I'm very much against most of the stuff he's been doing. You heard me rail against him after week 2. After week 3, I've been hard on him, on his scheme. I understood it. I understand what he's trying to do, but the defense breaks down, it all is going to break down. So the way I see this is that I give him some credit. 2 things McCarthy did, I say improved. He improved, in my opinion, a little more aggressiveness than we were going ultra conservative. Even though we were moving the ball down the field, still
progress.
Yeah, a little progress there. Attacking. That's again. Now we got the bye week. He's got 3 weeks since that. Let's see something more here as we go down the rest of the season. But the other thing he did also, it involves CeeDee Lamb. What Landlord said, CeeDee Lamb put in the slot, matched up against certain guys. You attack that. You scheme for that. And I did see a little more scheming from McCarthy's game plan and the way he set up this game day.
I agree. It was definitely a little bit more deliberate
to work CeeDee Lamb in this game, and he did. And I got to give Mike McCarthy credit on that. I got to give Dak Prescott. He looked for him more. He missed him 3 times at least on plays that would have been much more advantageous than what the other thing that Dak did on those plays. He missed him 3 times, but now I felt more like seeing the difference from the Niners and the Charger game. You can see that Dak was looking for him specifically, much more attacking than just waiting for the guy to get open. And they were just bracketing him, doubling him every single time. They're the Niners. So, the Chargers, when they did double him, someone else got open. It was more like Dak could see it faster, was moving better. And I think the scheme was more attacking down the field than the fucking 3-yard slants and comebacks and shit that you've seen the hooks from McCarthy's very conservative offense. Now, look, I'm going to say this, and I was going to say this after McCarthy, but I'm going to say this first. When you look at the Cowboy, and this is actually brought on by Landlord too as well. By the way, he's halfway. You see the bottom right of the screen there. You could put exclamation point raffle. You'll see how you get in this thing. But he's halfway to a raffle entry, Mr. Landlord. But I will say this, early picture of the Cowboy offense. Think about this. We have 2 kind of offenses that we've seen from this team. All right? When we're close, in a close game, or we're losing, the offense has been effective at distributing the ball to decent potential areas with space for yards after the catch. Okay, so we've seen that kind of come out when we are down or it's a close game. When we're defending a lead, when we're in the lead, and I'm talking about even like a 5-point lead, a 7-point lead, a 3-point lead, a minimal lead, we have been hyper safe, hyper conservative. That's on McCarthy. That's not on. That's the way that the offense kind of shuts down to avoid any kind of chance, error, mistake, big play. You shut everything down. The hyper conservative version of this offense has been the version we've seen by far the most, by far. And a lot of that is, why is that though? Why have we seen the ultra conservative offense most of the season? Why? It's easy. Well, when we are in a minimal lead, we bring that out. Why? Because we've been in minimal leads in 4 games. We've been in minimal leads or big leads in 4 games. So when we have the lead, we see the hyper conservative, the ultra conservative version of this offense. So we've seen this maybe 75, 80% of the time. we've seen this kind of offense for the Cowboys. We've defended a big lead most of the time in our wins. 3 out of the 4 games, we defended big leads. So that's why you saw in half our games an extremely ultra-conservative offensive scheme. That's what it came down to. So if you look at this as well, listen to this. A lot of the Cowboys' plays on offense, about 30% of the Cowboys' offensive plays, have come with a 95% chance to win the game. So again, a greater than 95%. So basically what I'm trying to say, guys, that 30% is a lot of your plays to have when you have a 95% chance to win the game or greater to win the game. We're number 2 in the NFL, 30%. Only team better, the Niners. And you see what happens when they fell behind, they had some trouble. They were in the lead most of the season, the Niners. When they're in the lead, they have control. And that's what we do. When we're in the lead, we have control. But they still have their offense going, and they have the little Shanahan twist, and we have the very ultra conservative. Now, when we're in a closer game, like the Chargers, you see a little more attacking. Like I was just saying, a little more attacking down the field. That seems to be an additional function to this offense that was added maybe after the Niner game. But we are more attacking. We go down the field a little bit more, potential yards after catch. Now you see the plays a little more depth to the routes. This is the big difference here. So again, I think we're getting a misjudgment of it. I'm not trying to paint it nice. I'm just trying to look at it in all ways. But you can see where maybe the offense will be, will actually maybe be able to attack a little more if there's a closer game in sight. Now, what happened in the Cardinal game? Because that was a close. We were down. We just lost track. We just lost that game. We just seemed like the Cowboys were not ready. They were like off in that game. But the Niner game, they just handled us from the beginning. They had to get an early lead. They do get whoever team gets an early lead against the Niners and Cowboys when they play. That's the team that's going to control the game and win.
I know I brought this up a handful of times now, and I can't. I've always paraphrase it because I can't remember it exactly. But we talked about it a lot last year. If the Cowboys are losing heading into halftime, there's like some 80-something% chance we're going to lose the whole game, and that's it. There's no real coming back from that. But if we are tied, or if we are obviously up on the other team, the odds of us, winning increased by quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. So but we're kind of the Cowboys with Mike McCarthy's kind of head coaching and scheme and thinking on things. That is the way this team will go. If we do not do that and take the lead and control the game, then we will be in the difficult games, even against average teams. And one last thing I want to say before you speak about McCarthy today. But he said this quote a little while ago, guys. Listen to this quote. I think he said it after the game. Quote from Mike McCarthy. It's not popular, but at the end of the day, when you make decisions in a game that results in a win, it's the right decision, whether you agree with it or not. And this was set by him on his decision whether or not to kick a field goal before halftime last week. Remember, guys, against the Chargers, remember what happened? We just rolled off like 4 or 5 seconds for no reason and then ended up settling for the field goal rather than attacking the end zone one more time for a touchdown. And he basically said, listen, whether you agree or disagree with my decision, we won the game. That will lose us the game in the playoffs. That will lose us games in the playoffs. Those will lose us games against good teams. I'm just saying, guys, that is not good coaching by Mike McCarthy saying, well, we won, so who cares? No, fuck you, Mike. This is the problem with the team. If we keep having this kind of, forget the fans, I don't care what us fans think. If the Mike McCarthy is thinking like this, it's the same thing as no wonder Micah Parsons was not prepared and taking it personal against the Niners. No wonder the Cowboys 2 years ago in the wild card round at home against the Niners, we lost. This team was shitting bricks before the game. No wonder this guy doesn't have him prepared properly. That's the kind of shit I don't understand. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but look, all I know is this. One last thing I'm going to say about this. Remember the analytics department? We have all these new guys. John Park, Sarah Malapalli, and a whole bunch of new analytics experts. I mean, top-of-the-line people from the NFL.
Yeah.
What's going on with them? Where's their input on this? And that's a question I'm asking us.
Or at least if they have input, what the heck is it? It hasn't really been made clear, has it?
You see them behind, a couple of them are behind Dan Quinn in the box up there.
Yeah.
But I want to know the input that this analytics department is given to the offensive staff, even the defensive staff as well, of course. But what has been used? by the Cowboy coaching staff that the analytics department can be giving them, right? Because, like you said, baby, it's difficult to point to anything big right now that they've done. Yeah. How do they add something to this thing? And listen, what I've been hearing is this. The new group of people that's here, it's a large overhaul of analytics crew here. And also a couple of new coaches as well to the staff. The analytics team was hired mid to late summer when the coaching staff had already set their plan for the entire season. They already had their season kind of laid out. It wasn't like they could mix in the installation of the offense and defense with the analytics. So by the time we hired the analytics people, the installation was done already from offense and defense. So it's hard to see them. I'm just assuming, all right, because they were just preparing. The Cowboys were preparing for training camp at the time. So this is ready. You're way into the season already in the sense of like, kind of foundation to your kind of team's process here on offense and defense. So I don't know if you're going to see much of a difference in year one. I'm going to be real about it. I don't know if it's just. I know
that's
it makes
not
sense.
What people want to hear. Obviously, it's not as similar, but it's somewhat like the Mozzie situation in that, you might see something in that first year, but you can't go into it expecting to somehow get some freaking Pro Bowler, game-changing, consistently impacting guy throughout this season, right? Like, we have to give him that time to develop. Yeah. And I think it's a similar situation. Obviously, just trying to compare it to...
Yeah. I think the other thing, again, for the player... The player has to learn how to get up, and they have really a whole full off-season workout stuff next year. Going to help all the rookies. But what about like when it comes to the analytics team and the new hires? I think a lot has to be like a full off-season of trust building with this analytics crew because they don't really know them. They're brand new. They were injected into the middle of McCarthy's plan. So again, we have to see kind of a full off-season, I think, of kind of building together going forward to really see the actual effect of the analytics team, like in a deeper way. So, that's just my thought there when it relates to Mike McCarthy.
I did want to hit up the chat real quick. Drums and Cowboys saying, McCarthy's trying to be stoic for the press. Mm-hmm. If we don't advance to the playoffs or another one and done, Coach Quinn is waiting in the wings.
Agree. Some people saying Sean Payton might get fired in Denver. So
if you guys joined us for a one-time viewing only live stream, you guys got to hear from Mr.
Jerry
McCarthy.
Jones and McCarthy, yeah.
And he did mention, his seat was feeling a little toasty. Right?
By the way, big shout out to 808 Cowboys, Legion of Doom. Much love to him. You see him in the membership, but he wasn't gifted that. He's in that Navy Blue crew. He's jumped in there. Much love to 808 Cowboy. You got them OGs, brother. Drop them like it's hot. So... Baby, I know that, I don't know if there's any comments in the chat about this.
I mean, I told you I had only hit up to one comment.
Hit up a couple more, and then I want to hear what McCarthy said today.
So, let me see. Rolling back a little bit here. MH said, starting Lamb from the draft and Dak. Dak is my problem most weeks.
Well, Dak is on the field, but a lot of that's mishandling of the offensive scheme by big man McCarthy.
Mater97 much love saying, I might be wrong. But Jerry Jones gets a coach, and then he tries to coach the coach.
You're not wrong. Opinion. You're not wrong. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones are always involved in those Monday morning meetings with the coaches.
He hired a GM, and then he decides to be the GM.
Exactly. It makes no sense. That's Jerry Jones, though. Jerry Jones pulls this stuff. That's the way his MO has always been. Why do you think Jimmy Johnson was cut out of the whole thing? GM, no more for him. Jerry Jones took over. He wants the credit.
So, no, let me see here. Oh, I did want to point this out just because it ties into a lot of the offensive stuff we've been talking about. Landlord from Alabama, much love, saying, CD had 42 targets. A.J. Brown had 75.
Yeah, that's how you scheme for your best players. That's been my point from day one with this team. McCarthy, Jerry Jones, I don't know, is it because he's going to get a contract now, CeeDee Lamb? I don't know. But they did this. It felt like they did it to Amari a couple years ago, and they just kind of let him be the third guy, the third receiver. It just makes no sense when you got to use your best players and scheme them into into the primary roles. Or else, what are you doing, right? If you're going to play them an interchangeable receiver spot, and you can get any receivers for that. The Cowboys have tried that a couple of times in Dak's tenure. I just think that the Cowboys have to, and you saw a little bit of that with CeeDee Lamb this last game, scheme towards your best players. Simple. It's not that hard. It's not an old school fucking trick here.
MH wants to know, when does Shoddy get blamed too?
That's a great question because I think
When
Schottenheimer...
is weird in between? Because again, how can you blame a guy that's not calling the offense? He's not running the offense. It's McCarthy. He's made it very clear. So
that's harder to... I think
is there to look cute, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Schottenheimer, it's a little harder to kind of find the criticism in Schottenheimer. So we have to... I think him and Soliari and more of the run side of things are lacking. So I think that the offensive line coach, along with Schottenheimer with the running plays, are not working too well yet. Let's put it that way. That's where I blame them more than McCarthy. McCarthy wants to get the fucking, just really run and gun the whole day if it was up to him, I think, and pound it once in a while with a fullback. But the thing I'm trying to say is I think that it's a great question, great thought on that, but I think that the Schottenheimer, also I think he was kind of watching the clock. I think he's partially to blame in the Chargers' mishap there before the half.
So, fire Shoddy for doing nothing, said MH. I mean, hey, I have a feeling...
He's there to take the blame for McCarthy.
Not even that, but we kind of speculated that we assumed at some point or another that McCarthy would kind of maybe hand off some responsibilities back to Schottenheimer. As of now, obviously, that is not the case. We'll keep you guys updated if something like that happens, but to me, that seems like the most likely scenario, right? Like, as the weeks go on, McCarthy just kind of has to head coach a little bit more and just gives Schottenheimer more and more chances to...
We'll see what happens.
We'll have to see.
Schottenheimer spoke today. I mean, not Schottenheimer. Shit, the hell am I talking about? Mike McCarthy spoke today. We've
been talking about Schottenheimer so much.
We're going to talk about the position coaches tomorrow and Wednesday on the opposite side of what we're going to be seeing when it comes to the Rams, offense and defense. So keep tuned on that. We got a couple of great things from the position coaches, and you can see the matchups position-wise, their defense versus our offense, and then our defense versus their offense. We'll talk about that in the next 2 nights here at MCF. Of course, this week is going to be a little different because we are actually, of course, flying into Big D on Thursday. So it's going to be a little different. After Wednesday, we're going to have a little different streams and different kinds of doing things, different ways of doing things. I got to see if I can even bring my computer. I don't know if I can. I'll have to figure it out. So
I think you should be able to.
Yeah. So again, it'll be either through my phone, through the same kind of system here, through the hotel Wi-Fi. We're going to do our best to stream as much as we can, but again, it's going to be a little bit less, and you'll get us more in the tours. We're going to be at the tours. We're going to be doing the stadium tour. We'll go live there with you guys throughout the time and just say what's up. We're going to be with the kids for the first times. You'll see them running around here, really repping that star with us on the field, the whole 9 yards. I can't wait. I'm very excited, and can't wait for you guys to take the ride with us this week against the Rams. We've got to get this win, guys. This is a very important win for my family here and, of course, all Cowboy fan base.
For the family.
Yes, the family.
So, now, one of the trickier parts about today...
Yeah, I mean, remember, there's a trade going down today.
Yeah.
With Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans to the Eagles. What was McCarthy's kind of thoughts on this?
Well, McCarthy didn't even know
that
the Eagles had made this move. He said that his head has been down with his team. So
I understand that. I said that earlier.
You want, but basically, it sounds like McCarthy was too busy, preparing and doing his stuff to kind of hear what the Eagles had done.
I think he
they will do what's best for the Cowboys. Said he's not motivated by what others are doing, and I have to imagine that one of the reasons that maybe McCarthy is keeping his head down is, again, he hasn't just really had a need to have his head up, so to speak. So I'm trying to use the kind of language used there. So.
Yeah, no, listen, it's the same thing. It's the same thing I've been saying. Like, who cares what the Niners do? Directly to us. How is that going to help us right now? We don't matter. We got to win our games. That's what matters. Beating the Rams is what matters, not the Niners losing or the Eagles losing. So I understand what he's saying. I think it's also bullshit. He probably knew Kevin. Byard was already traded, and he's like,
seems
he probably pounded his table.
Tiny bit of bullshit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it 2 hours earlier than him. Come on, coach. Come on, don't bullshit us. Come on, we know.
So, also makes me think that he's maybe a little jealous the way that he kind of said, like, I didn't even know. I was so busy doing my thing.
Well, I know McCarthy had other things to say today. Pretty sure he actually had a couple. It wasn't a really long press conference for him, but he did touch on a couple important things here. Injuries and other things. So what did he say, baby?
So he did specifically mention that there's no real injury updates or changes, right? So heading into this Rams week, as he specifically said, our injury situation pretty much remains the same. So, to me, that also means, like, first of all, not all that unexpected what he said there.
Yeah.
But second of all, it also just means that no one really got into any kind of shenanigans that required any kind of attention or intervention.
I will say this, though. When it comes to him, I agree with you on that. Nobody got any issues, but also, like it says, it's good news that there's no new injuries. Also, that means like someone like Matt Waletzko still not going to come off that 21-day window if the injury situation is the same as of now. So again, that we'll have to see what happens. But Waletzko will be some good depth at the tackle spot if he come back 100% healthy. So the Cowboys still taking him back slow. Sounds like the Cowboys are picking up where they left off with him, and maybe it's a more of a end of the week kind of scenario. Let's see what he's at, or next week, because after that he's got to be out for the year. He's out 3 more weeks. So again, so he's got to make that move. We'll see what happens with Waletzko. But that's an interesting little tidbit there on the other side of things on guys that are still not back from the injuries.
So McCarthy also said that he met with head athletic trainer Jim Maurer, and some of his, on his report of the 53-man roster saying, quote, he doesn't really have anyone high concern for Wednesday.
So again,
quote.
And he's saying Wednesday is the first practice coming up, so no high concern. Everybody who had injuries is doing, is obviously out of that kind of issue.
Yeah.
Everybody who's still injured, still kind of banged up, whether it's like a let's go kind of guy. But I think everybody else who had little bumps and bruises, they're ready to roll here on Wednesday for the first practice.
I agree.
On that field. Hey, we're going to be there Friday, aren't we? So we might actually see them at practice. We might see them practicing, baby.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
If we get that chance. So, anyway, that was pretty much it from McCarthy.
Yeah, now, didn't a couple of players speak afterwards? I know that after, again, the Cowboys were there at the Star practice, but it's not on the field practice today. That starts Wednesday. Today was just, classroom stuff. You know what I mean, guys? So, when we look at that, two guys came out to speak today with the media, and McCarthy did his press conference, but it was Marquise Bell and Brandon Cooks, right?
Yes. So, first of all, Marquise Bell did have a few things to say here, saying, I just try to use the abilities and the skill sets that I have to the best of my ability. Everybody in our group has different skill sets, different qualities. We're all different sizes and shapes, so you got to use what God gave you. I try to incorporate my speed into the position.
Yeah, I mean, he tried.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, no. He gets blocked. He gets a guy running after him. I don't know if you have this, but I know when he was getting a guy running after him, when to block him, he's like, I just use my speed to get around him. Like I don't worry about it. I just have the quickness to get around him. So anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't know if he was gonna.
No, it's all good. He also added in their quote, they've been working me to make sure that I'm getting everything down. It's been good. The transition has been pretty good. I've got a lot of guys in different positions helping me. Coaches helping me every step of the way. The transition isn't hard when I have all these guys supporting me to be the best. Again,
he's hybrid, right? Hybrid. He's a safety, linebacker. He's a hybrid. Whichever.
He said it himself, literally. Quote, I consider myself a hybrid. That's what I tell the guys all the time. And they try to tell me, oh, I'm a linebacker. They tell me, oh, you're still a safety. I'm a hybrid. The more versatile I can be, the more I can help.
A little bit reminds me of J. Ron Kersish, who plays more safety, but has helped a lot in linebacker the last 2 years, including this year.
So, but again, love the way that Marquise Bell is approaching this, I have to admit.
Yeah, I agree.
He also added in there, as far as like the type of preparedness or, effectively preparing as well, he said, it's something we prepare all week. Coaches give us a whole lot of information on the team, so the game plan is good and the preparation is good. You've just got to go out there and trust what you see. If you see it all week in practice, when you're in the game, you can't treat it any differently. So, no, I'm kind of stopping here because I thought you were going to say something. Okay, I'll keep going. That's not a problem. He also added in there, I would say that the run-through I had on man call, I've been working on that. Just seeing the formation, seeing the O-lineman and everything. The fact that I put it into play and was successful, I was really proud of that.
That was on.
I would say that we held the standard that we've been set.
Listen, on third, he had that play caused the fourth down. They did score the next play, the Chargers, but he made a great stop on the running back, and he did it multiple times with great stops in the running game. Marquise Bell really come to play, and you just heard, he's just using his speed. He's embracing this hybrid role, and again, a trade you might see out there possibly a trade you might see out there is a hybrid type of guy that, linebacker, but what about can also do like safety and other spots on the field, right? Can do other things. So, yeah, again, big shout outs to Marquise Bell from an undrafted last year to, and again, he made the 53, but now he's getting a true role here, a true game difference maker here, I would say, to find a guy like him in the mix. So now he was the only guy that spoke today, baby, and that's defense. You also had Brandon Cooks all up in your face like that.
Yeah, he took the time to chat a little bit today. As far as his performance this past Monday, he said, I just think that opportunity showed its hands.
Yeah, well, he
definitely looked the best that he has. Again, he's been progressively looking better and better, but it is nice to finally see him like, oh, hey, that's the Brandon Cooks we thought we drafted or traded for. Yeah,
I agree. And again, he actually jumped up for the ball. He out there went up and grabbed that ball for the touchdown, jumped up for that big third down. I'm just saying he really showed value now. Now you see what you can do with Brandon Cooks, and that's just scratching the surface because he's been known to go deep and stretch the defense. We haven't even started doing that yet. I don't know. Maybe we're waiting for the playoffs. I don't know. Anyways, go ahead. Maybe.
He also added in there that Tony Pollard's block on his touchdown, he added in there saying, quote, that play doesn't happen if TP doesn't make that block. I noticed that right away when watching film on the plane. That's just a complete back that he
Agree.
is.
And that's one of those plays we all saw him make that block, gave Dak the extra half second, and Dak just, had to wait for Brandon Cooks to get open just a little bit, get into his route so you can just float it in there. Brandon Cooks went up and grabbed it, got it, touchdown. But that was made possible because of Tony Pollard. Agree.
So, adding in there that Cooks was also asked how the kind of media attention, discourse, especially remember, guys, he was not a organically homegrown Dallas Cowboy, right? He came in from outside.
4 different teams, by the way, outside.
So, he said that, how did the Cowboys compare versus all those other teams? He said, man, the Cowboys, they get it hard. It's crazy, but I guess it comes to when you're on the most valuable franchise in the world.
Yep. It's a different world. It's a different world when it comes to, the Cowboys and pretty much anywhere else, even New York. You know what I mean? So, did anybody say anything more?
We did hear a little bit from Micah Parsons. Remember that he had his own
That's right.
little show where he kind of speaks and stuff like that. The Edge? Yeah, The Edge.
Yeah, he has his
Micah Parsons.
He has a weekly podcast he has, right? Every Monday he has it.
Now, for as blindsided as some of our players said supposedly that they were about to trade, that the Eagles made for Bayard. Sorry.
Bayard, yeah.
For Bayard's trade there, right? Micah said, I think you get a ball hunter, right? You get a guy who's going to get after the ball, create turnovers for you. A guy who's going to come downhill, not afraid. Obviously, an all-pro, Pro Bowl guy with veteran leadership. You add in all these vets into your backyard, truly special, and I think he can make more plays than Terrell Edmonds.
And, we all agree on that. I think Terrell Edmonds is not that good. He got burned against the Dolphins last night. And, look, Micah's right. He's watching the Eagles, obviously, unfortunately. But I do think that a good deal is a good deal, and the Eagles got another good deal. They're paying basically a little, I'd say, under $4 million, and they gave up a fifth and a sixth rounder and a player that's not that good to get a Pro Bowler, top ball hawk at safety. Got to give the Eagles credit, and Micah's giving them credit. What else did Micah say?
No, I agree. He added in there, I do believe he's a Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner. I always will say that defensive guys should be in MVP conversations. I hate that defensive guys aren't in conversations because where are championships really won? Championships are really won on defense. And I don't care how many points you put up there because you look at the Chiefs and you look at the Eagles. They both put up 40-plus points. But it mattered who got the last stop. Who created that turnover? Nick Bolton's turnover and score for the touchdown changed that entire game.
There you go. Defense will win you championships, but you got to have a little more offense than we have right now. Just got to leave it at that, Micah. But yes, he's making his point.
I agree. So, anyway, that was pretty much it from Micah Parsons today. But you can obviously see that he seems, well, I don't know if salty is the right word, but just I think he wants to see the Cowboys make similar moves as, the Eagles have made.
I don't blame him. I think a lot of us want to see us be a little more aggressive, not just free agency or the draft, but be more aggressive when it comes to getting your team a little bit closer to the title than going with your own guys that are undrafted free agents and not always going to be as consistent, especially as undrafted free agents. Anyways, Micah's saying that. He's saying the LA Rams are LA lame right now. That's what I'm saying. So, Micah, thank you. But we're going to talk a little bit about this game coming up. Take the first look at the Rams. And, maybe, I don't know if there's a couple of little quick comments you want to shout out real quick, or anyone you want to shout out before we keep it moving?
See, Chappelle Hanna, much love. MH saying, I would rather try to trade for Evans than stay with Cooks. Reddy Red, much love. Take it easy. Let me see, Montana 808, of course.
Ram the Rams, baby. Ram the Rams.
Let me see, MH said, head coach manages the other coaches and deal with the GM owner. Shoddy isn't good if McCarthy has to play call. Like, basically, if he has to call the plays, Schottenheimer is always going to be cut off at the knees. So, Justin P., much love. I'm glad you were able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, nothing better than watching your Cowboys,
live and in full effect. They're beating the Rams in. Ramming the Rams, like I said. This is their logo. I'm going to take that off. Anyways, you take a close look at the logo. That's what it looks like. But, hey, they're lame. L.A. Rams. That's our matchup Rams. Here. Yeah, listen. Cowboys and Rams. Cowboys open. Last week it was 6 points. 5.5 point favorites. Now I dropped a half a point there for this week 8 game against the Rams. And again, guys, this Sunday, the Rams, they were on the road. They were home against the Steelers. Cowboys, of course, this game is going to be in Dallas, where unfortunately, for us, they have played well in that stadium, in our stadium. But as Justin D said, we blew them out one of the last times we played them there. The Rams coming off a come-from-ahead loss. They were up by a touchdown. They lost by a touchdown against the Steelers with, again, 2 fourth-quarter turnovers there that left the Rams with a 3-4 record so far this season. Now, when it comes to their special teams, baby, that's the kicker. And we're going to focus on him right now. Just for a quick second, a quick peek.
I love not having these problems.
Yes, this is... Again, the Super Bowl caliber team that they used to have is not the same roster right now. They got some great players. There's a lot of lame players on there, too. And Maher, he's been missing lately, guys. Yes, Brett Maher's been missing. The Rams are developing a bad habit. They cannot kick. Cowboys seen it before, guys. Brett Maher, now with the Rams, another case of the yips. Missed several kicks. He missed one from 53, which you can accept that, right? He missed a 51-yarder, went far left. Like, he completely shanked it. And he missed an extra point that he shanked to the left. So he's going left and right. McVay, the word is he could sign another kicker this week or possibly still stand by Maher. If he stands by Maher, he's going to have to be aggressive to keep the offense on the field once they cross the 40-yard line. If they get past our defense to the 40, then, it's going to be probably, they're going to be conservative, protect his defense, and then they're going to try, I guess, maybe to trust Maher from 50 yards. They're not really want to do that. They want to get in there closer to 50 for Maher. So they're having issues with their kicker right now. We know the issues from Brett Maher that can come from that. Now, really quickly, I'm going to touch on the secondary, the defense, which, looking at this first look, it's a new look secondary. The Rams roster is different from the one that we've known over the years. They have Darion Kendrick. He is currently right now their best cornerback. He had a bad week off the field, and he did not play very well against the Steelers. So he is turning into lame right now for the Rams, at least the last game. Steelers wide receiver George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Both these guys made a lot of big plays against the Rams' entire secondary. Not just one guy, all these guys. They have Akilo Witherspoon. He struggled in coverage once again, and he was beaten on timing routes. So timing routes. Remember that one the Pollard that Dak missed? I have to sharpen up that because they suck covering these kind of timing outs and routes. So again, back shoulder fade kind of throws by the Steelers quarterback Pickens is where they sometimes they ran into the receiver for interference. Again, they were off in coverage. This is something I would say I want to see two guys on our team kind of take control of the situation, and that is Dak Prescott throwing that ball and connecting with, now you guys said already, CeeDee Lamb. That is a big key, once again, for our Cowboys to be successful. They have a very weak secondary. We have to target CeeDee Lamb. Dak's got to target him. That's got to be McCarthy's game plan. Dak's got to look for him. You hit CeeDee Lamb, you can get some yak against his defense. So, again, pretty easy to figure out as far as one of their... Again, they have Aaron Donald as their defensive tackle. He's a wrecking machine and edge in the 3-4. He's a wrecking machine. He's dominant. But, their secondary is weak as fuck. Now, how do these guys, these lames, rate? Defensively, we are third in the NFL by statistics. The Rams are 21st defensively overall in the NFL. Offensively, we're only 23rd. They are 6th. They're very efficient, and they can put up some points sometimes. But when you look at our passing, we are our 24th passing offense in the NFL. They are the 5th best passing offense in the NFL. We are the 16th best rushing defense. We're dead center, average. They are 13th, and they used the run game a little bit more than I thought they did when I first kind of came and took a first look at this game. I'm like, really? They run better and more efficiently than us. I guess that makes sense. We really haven't been having a very good, kind of running game this year. Look at the total yards. They're getting 384 a game offensively. We're getting 346. Passing, they're throwing for 272 yards a game. So they're getting close to that 300. That's a lot of passing yards. We're passing for 226. They're running for 112. We're running for 120. So we get a little bit more than these guys do. As far as defense, yards allowed, we're allowing 304 yards a game. They're allowing 337. That's a lot. That's a big difference when you look at it, overall in the bigger picture. Like I said, we're third to 21st in the NFL. But when you look at the passing yards allowed, we allow only 192 yards per game. They allow 220 passing yards per game. We can go over that, I think, this game. I think so. Rushing yards, we give up 111 yards per game on the ground, but they give up 117 yards per game, so we can get up to that 120, 130 as a running team possibly this week against the Rams. We can attack them on the ground and in the air. First look, though, we're not breaking this down to specifics. A little more deeper tomorrow about this thing. But let's stay on the offensive side real quick, baby, because there's a couple names we got to keep bringing up here on their offense and our defense when we look at this quick peek here at the Rams. Matthew Stafford, 59.8 is his completion percentage. That is not very good.
Agreed.
He has about 1,908 yards throwing. He has 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not very good. That's kind of lame. Running backs. Now, as we know, their star running back, Williams, he is out for this game for the next 3 more weeks. He has 97 attempts for 456 yards and 6 touchdowns. Those are numbers. That's partially why Kyren Williams it puts the Rams up there on the rushing kind of side of things. They run for a lot of yardage, but now they have to. Royce Freeman is their other running back. He has 12 attempts, 66 yards. I'm just gonna say this: their running game has dropped majorly since a couple of these guys been injured and put on IR for the Rams. So as we look at this team closer, I'm going to dive a little bit into the running backs for a quick second, but during tomorrow or Wednesday, we're going to talk about offense and defense of these Rams and what's the real deal in the situation, how we match up with them. So you'll hear me say more about that tomorrow. Also, at the receiver spots, you got, of course, Cooper Kupp in the mix, but he's kind of been injured a couple games. Tutu Atwell, 26 catches, 340 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then Puka Nacua. That's the undrafted rookie. He's far from lame right now. 58 catches this year, 752 yards already, and only 2 touchdowns for him. But when you look at his scrimmage yards in the NFL, he's one of the top receivers statistically speaking. Scrimmage yards, Tyreek Hill, 916, A.J. Brown, 809. Puka Nacua, 756 yards, again, from scrimmage. He's doing a lot of things there. Got to keep an eye on this guy, wide receiver, undrafted. McCaffrey's right behind him at 730, and Travis Etienne is at 700. So when you look at some of these guys, we're going to be focusing on these guys a little bit more throughout the week. But let me just take a quick little glimpse at the Matthew Stafford situation. Let's start at quarterback, all right? And I'm going to say this, when it comes to the quarterback, you know who's coming most of the time? It's Micah, baby. Micah's going to be coming for the Rams, and it's about getting pressure. Getting pressure on Matthew Stafford. Let me explain. Against the Steelers, Matthew Stafford was under a shitload of pressure from the Steelers pass rush. Stafford was sacked twice. And again, he was also able to get away from the pass rush a bunch of times, always under pressure though. Under pressure. So several times he was forced to just throw the ball out of bounds or get out the pocket faster than he wanted to. He's not very good getting out of the pocket. He was forced to also throw the ball before he was ready because of just not sacks, but pressure. Pressure. Something that Micah, DeMarcus Lawrence, and our defense do a lot of. So again, forcing for the ball early, it caused issues. Unforced errors by the Rams were also forced by the hands of the Steeler defense, and we are going to be able to do the same thing against this team. Now, I'll say this. If you look at a certain occasion in this game, it was really the game ender, the nail in the coffin against the Steelers. Matthew Stafford had a clean pocket. And why was that? Why did he have a clean pocket? Again, once in a while he had one. He had a couple clean pockets because in this particular play, T.J. Watt dropped back in coverage. T.J. Watt did not go in there. He was wrecking havoc, T.J. Watt, like Micah will. But then T.J. Watt dropped back in coverage, filling up one of the passing zones, passing lanes there. He was playing zone coverage. And Stafford kind of got locked on the receiver, threw it, and T.J. Watt picked him off. So, again, that was his sixth interception, for Matthew Stafford. And he, only has 7 touchdown passes this year. When you look at this right now, his expectations, he's 20% lower than expected when it comes to his completion percentage. It is horrible right now. He should be at 70%. 65. He's at 50-something, 55%. It's bad. 52% is his completion percentage, guys. So, very bad for him. Stafford, again, right now can improvise, sometimes extend the play outside of the pocket, which then would create plays down the field. You saw him with Tutu Atwell. As I mentioned him earlier, a receiver for them. We've got to keep an eye on him. He had a 31-yard touchdown to him, in the game against the Steelers. So the Cowboys, they have to keep pressure on Stafford and let him set up, the offense with short fields. That's going to be the key to kind of keeping pressure on Matthew Stafford, and that's going to be our pass rush. Now, it's not just Micah Parsons doing this. It's also a game, I think, Osa Odigizua is a guy, he's gonna have an ability to kind of take control again with the pass rush side. He's one of the top pass rushers from the defensive tackle position in the NFL. And pressuring is Stafford, like I said already this whole time, is a key here, a huge key. All right, I think Osa can dominate where Hankins and Mozzie will be like controlling the line of scrimmage with the run side of things. When you see Osa in the game, it's the pass rush side. And Osa's there, again, I think to me the run game sets up the passing game for the Rams. So they like to throw out some nice, some good runs. When they had the good running backs, then they kind of dropped a little bit going with practice squad guys and rookies. So that's going to be an issue for them. We'll see how Mozzie can handle things. And again, Hankins, of course, does his thing inside. But again, they have to have the run game going a little bit or else their passing game slows down. That's the way their offense runs. And they get the ball out quick. Stafford, they try to get the ball out quick, at least with McVay. But pressuring Stafford with Micah and Osa and others is going to be a key here. Do you guys know when he is pressured, when Matthew Stafford is pressured, his completion, he's already got a 52% completion percentage, but it drops to 39%. When he is pressured. When Matthew Stafford is pressured, it goes down 15%, basically, 13%. Completion percentage. Guys, you know what that makes him in the NFL? 33rd. There's 32 quarterbacks. There's actually, some quarterbacks have enough stats to get on the list. My point, you got 2 or 3 quarterbacks on, some teams. But Stafford is 33rd when he's pressured in the NFL. So what's a key here? I've been saying it the whole time I'm breaking this down. Get pressure on Matthew Stafford. Now, their receiver, we know about Cooper Kupp. He's got to be watched. He's got to be slowed down. But Puka Nacua, he's a rookie out of nowhere, right? Undrafted guy. Again, you wouldn't even be able to tell if you see the way this guy's been playing, and we've seen some of his highlights. You guys, he looks like Cooper Kupp out there. He looks like he's making plays out there like Cooper Kupp. You can't even tell the difference between them. So the Rams use, again, Nacua to in the same way, too, the way they use Cooper Kupp. And he, right now, I keep saying he's undrafted. My fault. He's a rookie, but he's a 5th-round pick. So not undrafted. So again, right now he leads the NFL. Like I said earlier, he had 58 catches so far. That leads the NFL with 58 catches. And, he's a very quarterback-friendly type receiver. So far, having unbelievably, he's Rookie of the Year. I would say he's one of the definitely candidates here, guys. He's good. He has good understanding of where the soft spots are in zone coverage. So the pressure from Micah and company are going to be vital to getting Matthew Stafford a little bit weary on his throws and incompletions. But these guys are going to get open if we let him sit back there too long. Again, you look at the game against the Steelers. He got 8 catches against the Steelers. Nacua. 8 catches for 154 yards. That's major numbers for a 5th-round pick there. Against the Steelers, the Rams also got the ball in space to him. Gave him opportunities to make yak, to get yards and make plays after the catch. They gave him the ball where he was, able to, almost the way I wish we would use Cavante Turpin and maybe even Deuce Vaughn if we were to use him out there a little bit more. They gave him the ball in space, and he makes plays happen. He gets going down the field, and he's very good at very, kind of like game breaker-ish. So you got to keep an eye on him. You got to tackle him. You got to wrap him up. It's going to be important for the Cowboys. A difficult task, not just containing Cooper Kupp, but now the emerging Nacua, who, again, is making highlights almost every week. I'm just saying we have to be very aware about these receivers. The pressure on Stafford makes the difference. Of course, we got Gilmore, we got Bland, we got Lewis, who's there's some weaknesses there, but the pressure makes it better if you can kind of make Matthew Stafford a little bit unsettled with the pressure. I will say one other thing here, though. The way the Steelers took out Nacua and Cooper Kupp was they played cover 0. That means no safeties, guys. They played cover 0, double, which means they doubled, teamed both Nacua and Cooper Kupp. They double teamed, didn't have a safety. They took away Cooper Kupp, they took away Nacua. Not every play, but 3rd down for the Steelers, a big play for them to convert. And they're driving to get into their territory, and they took out their best 2 players by just double teaming them. Now everybody else has to cover very well, but again, a great decision, I think, coaching wise by the Steelers, by the Steelers' entire team there to do that play. And again, when you had guys out there like Patrick Peterson, who's already older, cornerback playing safety, I think now, but he had 67 snaps. If this guy can do it, then I don't know why we can't do it. Like, I'm not even just talking about him. Again, you're going to have Stephon Gilmore out there. But Gilmore is much better, I would say, right now in his career, health-wise, or not health-wise, but just, ability-wise, than Patrick Peterson is right now. Yet, Patrick Peterson was playing fantastic. You know what he was doing out there? He played inside corner. He played outside corner. He played free safety. He played half the field. On and on. He played all over the field. So I don't think Stephon Gilmore is the guy. But again, remember, Micah's going to have to play some linebacker. So you're going to see him going. I'm going to talk about him in the running game. And you got to remember, too, guys, this guy was 33 years old, Patrick Peterson. And he was still playing elite kind of play out on that field in the right scheme. I think Jaron Kearse. I think Donovan Wilson. I think these are the guys you can see kind of playing that role to kind of help shadow the Cooper Kupps and the Nacuas in this particular game. So again, I'm going to be watching from the in the stadium. So I'm going to be able to tell you guys what exactly is going on. Finishing things up though, the Rams running back rotation. That's going to be a big key to how we're going to continue, to hopefully stop this run game of the Rams, which again, they will use when they had Kyron Williams and other running backs. But now they're in trouble there. McVay has always, been weird about taking the certain choices at running back. Again, splitting them up a lot. There was a little more consistency though. In the past, there was not. This year was more consistency starting off the season with tailback Kyron Williams, and he demanded a lot of the snaps. And again, in the usage in the running back in the running game for this Rams, Williams was major. But now, of course, he's out for 4 weeks. His backup, Ronnie Rivers, is also out for 4 weeks. So they activated Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman, Royce Freeman probably did the best out of the two there. And they also have Myles Gaskin as another running back. Those are the 3 running backs that are all practice squad or elevated guys or picked up from other teams. These are their 3 starters last week against the Steelers. They're going to be our 3 starters against us. And these 2 guys, Henderson and Royce Freeman, led the Rams running game in their backfield. They combined for, again, you got to respect it, 30 carries against the Pittsburgh defense. And they ran for 127 yards on the ground. Again, like I said, Royce had, I think, 12 carries for 66 yards. Henderson had 18 carries for the rest of the yardage. So Henderson's he's kind of like the workhorse. He's going to run you over. Cowboys have to be ready to tackle and take him down. Someone like a Darrell Henderson. And again, you got to remember, guys, McVay is going to work other guys in the mix. You got to watch guys like Zach Evans. Again, he was initially believed to be the guy behind. He was basically going to be the 3rd stringer. Now he's still the 3rd stringer, and 2 of the guys just passed him up. But Zach Evans was looked to be as the 3rd stringer for these guys behind Williams and Rivers. He may get more snaps than he did last game because he didn't get much in there. McVay could decide to get him involved, and maybe a true 3-headed monster at running back. Either way, Micah and the linebacking core has to. Marquise Bell and others have to stop the run. Very important because that's how they kind of set up their passing game. That's how they get you off their passing game a little bit. So for the Cowboys this week, predicting which running back you're going to see most of the snaps is going to be hard. Who's going to get the most opportunities? I don't know. But we got to treat them all the same. You got to stop them all. Now, Micah Parsons, one of the guys on that field, is going to have to play a little more linebacker, right? And you're going to have, of course, let me move it over to Marquise Bell, who also is going to be playing. Some linebacker did a great job stopping the run. I think even someone like Wanye Thomas might be coming back for this game. He's a good run stopper there from the safety position. But the one guy I want to talk about one last second, the finishing this thing here, under the radar, so to speak, Rashaan Evans. He's had a whole week and a half now, 2 weeks, with that star in the helmet, working into the mix, studying, learning. Let me just remind you guys, Rashaan Evans, last year with the Falcons, did play against the Rams. All right? And again, their defense is nothing compared to our defense last year or this year. When it comes to Rashaan Evans, coming to this team, he's playing already a much better defense than he did against the Falcons when he was with the Falcons last year. He played all 17 games, but Rashaan Evans against the Rams last year, he had 7 tackles. So again, he was highly involved. That's a lot of tackles for one guy.
The Rams specifically, so.
Yeah, I mean, against the Rams. Yeah, he faced off against the Rams. He knows this team, at least from last year. There's a good chance I want to see what happens with Rashaan Evans, but he's a tackling machine. And again, I want to say it's as good of a move as like Hankins, but it is a move that is like a specific fit for our team, that we need a guy who can replace the LVE spot so that Marquise Bell can roam freer and be able to make more of those plays you see him in the running game. So very important in this game to stop these Rams. And again, Rashaan Evans right now on the practice squad, if he's activated this week, which I believe he will be, and again, the room is very young there. You know what I mean? Some of the Cowboy players have not played against McVay, have not played against the Rams, right? So you have Clark and Marquise Bell. They haven't seen the Rams, so this would be a good opportunity for them maybe to get some teaching moments there from Rashaan Evans. So again, last year, by the way, 7 tackles, and the Falcons as a team held the Rams running backs to 3.8 yards per carry. That's very good. If we could,
that is actually really good.
That was against a Falcon defense that's not that good. And again, they have different players on their team too, so let's be fair about that. They have Nakua, right? He wasn't there last year. But my point is, stopping the run game. He's not going to. Rashaan Evans not dealing with Nakua most of the 90% of the time. He's not dealing. He's stopping the run. So we need a run stopper. That's what he's going to be. And I hope to see a better job by our linebackers this week. Even than last, we did a good job last week, but I want to see better. I want to keep getting better. I want to be more solid stopping the run. And let's stop these LA lames. They should have no way to beat us. They should not be beating us, guys. There's no way. And I say this in this way. Of course they can beat us, but there's no way they should beat us. We are a better talented team than them. But if we are caught slipping, they will beat us. And they get the lead on us, they will also have an easier path to get that win against us. So, man, that's kind of my first look. I think I'll go a deeper look right this week, because we might miss some other streams, this week, or have shorter streams. Again, want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get into the double raffle jersey.
Ooh.
a double jersey raffle, 2 jerseys, 2 winners, 1 jersey apiece. Choices are theirs when it comes to this jersey. You can see at the bottom right of the screen.
Remember the entry stat, guys. Every $10, bam, that's an entry. Every additional 10, bam, another entry. And of course, the cherry on top, members get, bam, additional bonus entries.
So again, appreciate everybody who's in it so far. Let me give the quick shout outs here. Skeptical Fan is officially in. He's got a membership as well, and he's halfway to another one. He also got, or actually all for over halfway to another one. Jason Renfro just banging in it like that with the Cash App. Got Landlord halfway there, and you got Marco Seppian who's one away from getting in there. So again, right now, actually, you got 2 people in this raffle right now as it sits. And so I guess those are the 2 winners right now. Jason Renfro and Skeptical Fan, if it was today, they'd be the only winners at this moment. But appreciate everybody here. Again, you can see some of the people here that have won or winning. Skeptical Fan, much love to him. He is currently leading 3-0 against everybody else. When it comes to gifting memberships, he gifted 3 of them today. Much love to him. He's in first place on the overall board. No, he's not. Yeah, he is the first place on the overall board and also on the gifting board. You see Jason Renfro. He's our current champion, the king of the gifting board. Much love to Jason Renfro. He's gifting 4 of them last week. Right now, we're already up to 3 when it comes to Skeptical Fan. Much love to him. Jason Renfro, though, you see the man here. 59 points on the Stream Boss. Much love to the man. Jason Renfro, always repping it here. That star over everything. And congrats to those Texas Rangers, right? Also, by the way, Jason Renfro repping it as the leader, currently the leader in the Cash App. He's the leader. And, he's got the membership. So, he's got the entry. So, he's all the way in. He's got the extra bonus raffle entry as well, membership style. Much love, Jason Renfro, repping it on the Cash App. But you know who the king of the Cash App is, baby? SnugX. You know why he's here. He's the king of the Cash App, not just because of that, because he's also the sponsor of the week. The man has taken over the board here on the most heavy, important side of things when it comes to our board. So much love to SnugX. And, hey, even got a little special picture of him here in a minute when you'll see me open up the board. Again, SnugX, the Cash App king, the sponsor of the week. The takeover, man. Appreciate you, man.
And again, guys, huge. Yes, Ready Red said, "Oh, damn, the bot command worked." Yes,
it did. Yes.
You type in exclamation point raffle, exclamation point MCF, exclamation point love. Thankfully, all those works, and exclamation point member as well. All of those will.
It's been rolling. You see SnugX right there, guys, repping it here with us. The Cash App king, the sponsor of the week. Just wanted to say that. You know why he's here.
Chappelle Hannon. Oh. Shout out to you, but Calvin Richards.
In the house.
He came through with a $3.
Much love to Calvin Richards. Up in that, he's 7 away from going into the raffle. What did the man say?
Why is Tolbert not playing?
Well, we can say a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I'm going to say money. You got CeeDee Lamb, of course. He's number 1. You got Brandon Cooks. He's getting paid good money traded for him. You got number 3, Michael Gallup, who is getting $13 million or 11, 12, 13 million a year. One of those numbers there. Double digits per year at receiver. Jerry Jones is not going to bench him for rookie Tolbert in his second year. Jerry Jones is going to make that decision. And that's not in McCarthy's hands. That is in the dollar bills, the contract hands. And that's what we're going to do with someone like Gallup and maybe even force the ball to him rather than pay CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Through I would say the influence of the Joneses in the front office. Much love there. Calvin Richard. He's 7 away from getting a raffle entry here for those jerseys.
There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously start reading some of the comments here as we wrap things up tonight on our side. Lost in Translation said, best man up. It is that time, isn't it?
Yeah, if you talk about, again, if you got the Tolbert thing, it sucks that the money is going to just make the difference for the Jerry Jones situation. Because, again, McCarthy can only do so much.
So, Chappelle Hannon, much love, saying, I heard he was thinking about getting Patrick Surtain before the deadline. Is that true?
Again, guys, it's all cowboy, talk. It's all it is. It's just cowboy content creator talk. I do not buy into that. I'm sure Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones have made calls. Anything serious? Hell to the no. Listen, I could be here putting up a stream every single night saying, who can we trade for? Look at this guy. I see other people doing it. It's so lame to me, because it's just people's hopes. It's not reality. So I'm not here. I'm not in the business to hype up players that we're never going to get. If we get them, when we get them, if we get any of these players, I will talk about them then. But you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, I'm like you. Like, I've heard Sertan and I've heard Henry and all these, pipe dreams. I'm not even excited. I'm not excited about any of these guys. You know why? Not because they're not good or they wouldn't work out in some way. Because it's not reality. Reality is no Patrick Surtain. Reality is no Derrick Henry. The reality is none of these big names. You might get a trade for a specialist, and I say specialist like a Jonathan Hankins. Like again, we got Rashaan Evans without a trade, but someone like that specific to a role on the team, maybe a running back that's a bruiser, but just he's not signed yet. He's waiting for more money or whatever it may be. I'm just saying, there's a lot of different guys you can see that happen. Maybe a trade for someone like that. Outside of that, I wouldn't hold my breath at any kind of big major moves. No Patrick Surtain, no Henry, no nothing. In my opinion, the clown show will clown.
You see, lost in translation, much love. Brandon James saying, Justin Ross arrested in Kansas, facing felony charges or something. So, rolling back here, Ready Red said, I want to know if anyone has seen Lee's side today. No, can't say we have.
He's crying, I think. Somewhere he's crying, yeah. By the way, Brandon, I did hear about that, but that sucks for him over there. I didn't touch too much on that tonight.
Calvin Richards, much love. Lost in translation, of course, take it easy. Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. MH in the house. Lost in translation podcast. Rolling back, MH, Dallas Cowboy 92. Ready Red. Even more, Ready Red, Thomas Garrett, Justin D, Pioneer, MH, Mike Adana, Rolando Rodriguez. All of you guys. Let's see. Yeah, that's about as far back as I can go, at least on my side. But again, Revelation Journalist, take it easy.
What did he say there? Some fans want?
Some Cowboy fans want young, stronger all-pros on the cheap. And yet all props on the cheap. Just call up China like Walmart do.
Oh, and vet all-pros on the cheap. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Hey, the Cowboys, when it comes to Jerry Jones, they just want to play the media and the fans a lot of times against the players. Again, that's why they say the pie this, the pie that. The Eagles are doing shit with the pie, right? They're slicing it up and dicing it up and still alive and surviving. And as I've been saying for years, we could do it. Just for years, we know they don't do it. This front office does not do it. Yeah, they go for unimaginable cheapnesses and things that usually don't happen. And that's how they appease the fan base, I guess. Not me. I know better now. So anyways, guys, hey, listen, I appreciate everybody here with us. Yes, congrats to Jason Renfro there and his Rangers and everybody else who's a Rangers fan. We like the Rangers. We'll be there for the World Series in Dallas. So it's going to be great. Fake Leg said, go Cowboys. Hey, guys, appreciate everybody in the house hitting that like, subscribe, notification bell. Much love to the Lunatic and his his double raffle jersey coming around the corner here. So get in the raffle you guys want. There's other ways of doing it. Thanks and all that good stuff. You can do it that way, cash and app and all that. It's all added up. And we'll have the raffle, guys. 2 jerseys, 2 winners. Can't wait to see who does that. Much love to the Lunatic. Much love to Snug X representing the boards there. Jason Renfro representing the other side of the boards. Skeptical Fan representing the other side of the boards. Can't do this without you guys' love and support. And baby, remind me and everybody else out there why we do this each and every day here on YouTube, on My Cowboys Family.
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here. We rep that star over everything. And never forget here, 6 years and beyond on YouTube here on My Cowboys Family. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6. I want 6. Let's get that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and beyond sooner than damn later. Gave the Niners too many years of chances there. They got 2 Super Bowl appearances and 0 wins the last 28 years for them. Anyways, guys, thank you for rocking it and dropping the thoughts in the chat all night long. Again, appreciate you guys there. As always, can't have the discussion without people to discuss it with. Of course, thank you guys for the drops of love from above, the support here for the channel, and those getting in the raffle. Appreciate those guys, those ladies and gentlemen that dropped in there for that. And, of course, guys, as we clock out for the night, relock and reload tomorrow for another, we're going to take a look at our defense versus their offense of the Rams and kind of talk about some of their keys to ways of getting and beating that offense that is actually a top-rated offense. They're 5th top, 5-6 rated offense. So I'm looking forward to breaking this down tomorrow, guys. Before we can do that and drop out of here for the night, what do we gotta do here, baby?
We gotta drop the beat.
Oh yeah, you know it, baby. That beat's been dropped, and it's a wrap here, my Cowboys family. Thank you all for rocking with us once again. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And hey, the lunatic, you want to get in this raffle? You know what to do, guys. Here, our show, 2 hours plus, it's wrapped. Cowboys chatting the books. Next team up, we got to ram the Rams. That's the key. That's the goal. And take it one game at a time. Not even looking to the Eagles game yet. Guys, we'll be rocking it here with you all tomorrow for another one, breaking down the offense of theirs against our Big D. I'm excited to see what we can find out from this thing going forward. Here on MCF, it's about that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. You know it. Never forget the number one thing right here, my Cowboys family. Much love to everyone. Appreciate everyone here joining us for another late night stream here. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another one. Stay safe. Peace out. And never, ever forget. Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.